Broadcasting from the Main Street Media television studios in Nashville, Tennessee, it's time for Friday Night Live, the best high school football coverage in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Zach Womble, and Billy Derrick, and also reporters from Main Street Media. Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans, don't let fans drive drunk.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into our Week 10 edition of Friday Night Live. I am your host tonight, Zach Womble. Over to my left, Billy Derrick. Hope you're doing well tonight. Billy, how are you today?
I'm great, Zach. I'm ready to roll. We got another night of high school football. I mean, we're in Week 10.
I know.
That is crazy.
Sure, we've been joking all year long that at some point we're going to say, wow, I can't believe it's Week 3. Wow, I can't believe it's Week 5. And here we are, just 2 weeks counting tonight of the regular season before the playoffs start. Man, it really does fly by.
It always flies by, and they just keep getting more important as well. I mean, we've got a lot of important games tonight. We've got some games that we're interested to watch in terms of, hey, can CPA compete with Lipscomb Academy?
Yep.
Can Baylor hang on against NBA? So there's definitely some games to watch tonight, and we're gonna talk about all of them.
We are. We're going to talk about them. We're going to hear from our reporters who are at many games across the mid-state. I believe I counted over 20 games that we're covering tonight. So we'll bring you interviews with them. Maybe we'll hear from some coaches. I know we're going to play some snippets, from our earlier shows, our earlier podcasts. One with myself, the Sumner County Sports Podcast. The other with Russell Vannozzi and Tyler Palmatier. So we're excited to get into that. But like you said, we've got a ton of good matchups tonight. You could go to CPA Lipscomb Academy. You could look at Brentwood Academy in Ensworth from last night. Baylor Montgomery Bell Academy. What are you looking at, Billy? What's got your eye?
Man, I really like. I know I like to stay super local, but NBA Baylor is the one I'm really watching tonight. NBA has just kind of been business as usual. I mean, every game we feel like NBA may go down or may at least have to earn and fight. They've had to fight for most of their wins. But they really haven't been threatened to the level that I think we expected them to this year. So credit to them. So we've definitely enjoyed watching them. But Baylor, I think Zach is a little bit of a different animal.
Yeah.
That I think it's NBA and then Baylor. Kind of NBA is probably a notch below NBA right now. Baylor is so. But man, I'm looking forward to watching that one. Lipscomb Academy CPA as well. Just. You talked about it in the Plaster Show today. Can CPA hang in? I mean, Lipscomb Academy is one of the best teams in the country. And, we talk about Lipscomb Academy every week, and they're, winning by an average of 30 points every week. But CPA knocked off Oakland.
Yep, sure did.
They proved to everyone that, hey, when they're healthy, they can play with anybody. So I know Oakland is maybe a little down this year, but it's still Oakland. You got it. You beat a really good team. Can you do it tonight? Man,
yeah.
I don't expect it to happen, but that would be a historic season for CPA. So I love those two right there, Zach. There were a couple more I had in mind as I pull up the schedule again, but really off the bat, those two are the ones I'm watching. I was really excited to see last night's games.
Yeah.
Brentwood Academy hangs on to beat Ensworth in a really low-scoring battle, 10-7.
Yes, it was.
Comeback win against Ensworth. George McIntyre was phenomenal.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he looked the part, and the kid's a sophomore.
Hey, did you see that picture of him in Knoxville this weekend standing with Peyton Manning?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
That was a cool photo. And I know, obviously his family lineage is black and gold through and through, but I would imagine that was a pretty cool moment for him.
Yeah, it probably was. I mean, every recruit in the state of Tennessee, I feel like, was at that game. Now we don't know how many of them are going to eventually commit to Tennessee, but that was a pretty good showing for Tennessee to do that. But Zach, I think this could be a unique battle in state between Vandy and Tennessee. I mean, his grandfather coach of Vandy in Tennessee is, like I said earlier on the show today, who wouldn't want to play there? So I think there's some pressure on Vandy this year to, knock off an SEC team, show that you are making progress. But for Tennessee, the proof is in the pudding. So that's going to be, he's got some time. He's got plenty of time to decide, but that's going to be an interesting recruiting battle.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think, if I were to guess, and this is just pure guessing, I think probably at the end of the day, he might lean toward his family lineage and,
Right.
and maybe really consider that black and gold just because of how important it is to him, how important it was growing up.
Right.
But any chance you get an opportunity to speak with Peyton Manning, I think you're going to take that opportunity. I'm sure he's going to enjoy the roses being kind of tossed his way, and everyone kind of courting him, his talents, and rightfully so. I mean, just look at last night's game for example of just how good he is. But you're right. I mean, seeing how him develop over these next couple of years, what happens with his recruiting? Does it come down to Tennessee Vanderbilt? Is there a dark horse in there somewhere? So a lot of questions coming up for Mr. McIntyre that I can't wait to see, kind of work itself out,
Yeah, I love recruiting battles.
I do.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about it, and it feels weird to talk about it sometimes when you're talking about high school kids. But hey, they like it. They like the attention in today's world, and they want people to talk about them. So I love kind of tracking it. There's a lot of good recruiting experts that I love talking to. So that's one of my favorite parts of high school football. And I mean, we talked about another guy, Chance Fitzgerald. Who, with Nolensville, they're riding high, and he's had one of the hottest stretches, last couple weeks in recruiting I think I've ever seen in a while.
I think he might have even picked up an offer after we spoke earlier today on the George Plaster show. I think the last one that he got was Auburn. He might have picked up another one, but you're right. I mean, he's kind of flown off the charts. Maybe it was someone else that picked up an offer, but I thought maybe LSU got in there somewhere. Maybe
I know Auburn. I think Auburn is the only SEC school so far. I think
it might have been someone else I was looking at.
But hey, it starts with one, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has another big time showing to put on film tonight. I mean, the sky's the limit for him. He's got the size. He's 6'3", I think 890 pounds. So he's got everything you want in a receiver. I didn't realize how good he was, like you said, Zach, until we saw that Page game.
Yep.
And man, he's everything you want.
Yeah, he was all over the field. Absolutely. And speaking of recruitment, speaking of all eyes kind of being on one person, I don't know it to be true, but it's what's the conversation is being gone on. But apparently Caleb Beasley is going to make his announcement known at the end of the Lipscomb Academy CPA game tonight. Now, the only problem is that Lipscomb Academy and CPA are playing at CPA.
The only problem is CPA might have a problem with it.
Yeah. So, if they do win and he's able to make his commitment known, surely he's not doing it at midfield, hope maybe he's doing it in front of the visitor locker room, or maybe even from inside the locker room. But a potential to have some fireworks go on between Lipscomb Academy and CPA tonight.
And, you got to believe CPA players heard about that. And that's their turf. They want to protect it. So all of a sudden I'm intrigued, even more intrigued to watch this game just to see some of the emotions. Like I said, I don't think CPA wins, but I do think they can give them a fight. I mean, these teams are rivals.
Absolutely. Yes.
This is a private school rivalry that has a lot of tradition. And of course, one of the schools has changed drastically in the last few years. But I'm still looking forward to watching that. This isn't a team to slouch. If it's this is not a slouch by any means, CPA. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching that.
I want to change gears a little bit, Billy. Reclassification was just made known by the TSSAA. There's a lot of schools already playing up in that 3A range, Brentwood Academy, Innsworth, if you will. I'm curious your opinion just for this show. Do you think Lipscomb Academy should move up and try to play up in that 3A range, or do you think they should feel comfortable with playing in the 2A but still playing a national schedule?
Right. I think 2A, the last couple years, kind of getting your program off the ground, was a nice starting point for Trent Dilfer. But let's face it, and let's not kid ourselves, they don't need to be in that division. They need to be in a much more competitive region. I think most people would agree with me. I think we had Tyler Palmatier on a couple weeks ago, and I told him that, and he said there's a lot there. There's a lot that they need to get done to get that done. But I mean, it's undeniable. I think I would love to see Lipscomb go through that gauntlet in Division III I'm not disrespecting Division II right now, but Division III
It's a different animal.
Is the king of the state of Tennessee.
It's the SEC of Tennessee high school football.
Yeah, and so you see schools like Father Ryan where I think they could compete in Division II very well, and same with Pope, and same with some of those lower tier teams. They just have to play an SEC type schedule year in and year out. So yes, I think Lipscomb Academy needs to move up, and I think that's earned. I mean that's an opportunity for them. I don't think anybody denies that. So I think Lipscomb, if you're Lipscomb Academy and Trent Dilfer, you should be excited about that. You should be, you should want this to happen for your program and for your school, because it not only helps the football program, it helps the school, and I think that'll create quite a buzz in Division III and make it even better.
Absolutely. The thing is, they've got 10 teams, I think, or 11 teams currently in Division II 3A. You've got the 8 teams that are already in there, which is Christian Brothers, McCallie, MBA, Memphis University School, Father Ryan, Baylor, Knox Catholic, and I believe Briarcrest Christian. So do you throw in Pope Prep, Innsworth, Brentwood Academy, St. Benedict at Auburndale? Is that the other 4 that you throw in there to try to make it a 12, 13 team region? I mean,
those are the questions that they got to ask, the TSSAA. So who knows? I know they split. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Where they made some changes. I feel like it's every year.
It's two. It was two. I think it comes every 3 years.
Okay.
So I guess it was 2019 was the last time it happened.
I've talked about, Zach. I think in Division III they need to make just a powerhouse region.
Yeah.
Where you've got. And some people may not like this, but I think you need to put Lipscomb Academy, Brentwood Academy, MBA, maybe Knox Catholic, probably Pope, and just kind of those monsters, those real monsters, Baylor, McCallie, schools like that, maybe Briarcrest. I mean, they're up there every year. And then the other region of Division III, put your Father Ryan, put your Knox Catholic, put your lower tier teams. And then maybe in the playoffs, though, they meet. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to make it, a little bit easier on the lower tier teams,
sure,
and maybe a little bit tougher for some of those top end teams in the region. But who knows? Like I said, I think ultimately Lipscomb Academy will move up. Is it this year? I hope. But I think eventually we will get that.
All schools have until October 24th to submit their paperwork to the TSSAA whether or not they want to play up in the classification. I spoke with Brian Sneed earlier this past week about that, and he told me that they were surprised at Pope Prep that when the numbers came in that they were in AA. They just recently added a middle school to their school. They're now a preparatory school, which invokes the name change, and so they were really surprised at the 521 students that they had enrolled.
Wow,
listed
521.
They were very surprised at that. So and we could play the Sneed interview later on in the show just so you can hear what he had to say. But yeah, they were surprised, and they were going to talk about whether or not what makes sense, whether they should try to play up in 3A or if they should stay in 2A. And I asked him, what are the pros? Tell me, what are the pros? And the biggest pro to me was, if you're in AA, the lack of travel that you don't have to make. You get to go CPA, Franklin Road Academy, Lipscomb Academy, Davidson Academy, as opposed to Briarcrest or MUS or McCallie, Baylor, Knox Catholic. Those schools. So I think that's the biggest pro in terms of dropping from 3A to 2A. But I think also, and I don't want the word to be taken in a negative tone, but I think ego kind of gets in the way a little bit, because you kind of want to still be able to say you play the best of the best, right? Right,
yeah,
Billy?
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I think for Lipscomb Academy, a school like that, if you're Trent Dilfer, you got to believe it's a no-brainer for him to want to move up. I mean,
well, I'm talking about Pope Prep, whether or not they should stay 3A, because they're having the conversation, should they drop to 2A, or should they try to play back up in 3A? Because they
surely if you're Pope Prep, you want to stay in 3A.
Well, that's what I asked Coach Sneed, and that he was, he gave me the pros for each. Pros for the AA, as I just said, was, being in a closer region. Pros for 3A is playing the best of the best.
Right.
If they do go AA, honestly, I kind of want to see it for the simple fact that you get to see Pope Prep versus Justin Geisinger / Justin Geisinger versus Pope Prep every
That'd
year.
Be great. That'd be great.
That would be a lot of fun for people like us. But anyways, we've kind of chatted here for a long time. So why don't we do this? We're going to take a quick break, but when we do, we're going to catch up with Ingle Martin, Russell Van Ozzie, Tyler Palmentier. Talked to him earlier this week, just ahead of the big game this Friday night. So don't go anywhere. Ingle Martin after the break.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was going to get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me $10,000, so no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
I didn't think this would affect so many people.
You think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good drive. There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. You are right now? Now.
We are back. Friday Night Live, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. I, of course, am your host, Zach Womble. Joining me, as always, every week, Mr. Billy Derrick. We have been talking about all the great things going on with high school football tonight. We've been talking about reclassification, before the break, we told you that we were going to hear from Ingle Martin, CPA's head coach. They have a big game this Friday night against – what am I saying this Friday night? They have a big game tonight against Lipscomb Academy. So let's hear from Coach Ingle Martin, who caught up with Russell Venozzi and Tyler Palmatier earlier this week.
Everybody, we have an awesome guest coming up. Christ Presbyterian Academy football coach Ingle Martin. His team is coming off a massive win against Oakland and has a massive one against Lipscomb Academy this week. Ingle, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank y'all for having me on.
Yeah. You just have me today. Russell's taking a few days, so it's you and I. If some don't know, you've moved into the athletic director role in addition to the football job, which any kind of football job in a place that's serious about this sport is already really big. What is kind of filling you up personally about now having the AD job, and how are your days over there now compared to before?
Well, I honestly moved in February and really just stepped into what I felt like our head of school, Nate Morrow, was really asking me to do, and great opportunity to serve our families and our kids here. And it's not really something that I ever set out to do, was to be an AD. But of course I didn't set out to be a high school football coach either. And just trying to honor where God's got me, and my family's here. Got 2 boys here, and my wife works here. And so we're very thankful to have an opportunity to work at a place like CPA.
Yeah, I remember us talking once about how you got started in this, and football or high school football wasn't really in your path. So it's interesting. Now you're running the whole shebang over there. When you guys stopped Oakland's 36-game win streak 2 weeks ago, that was one of those high school results where it just seemed like everybody knew about it right away. If they didn't already know, it was sort of in progress at halftime or the next day, they figured out about it. It was just big around here. Were you able to enjoy that a little bit?
Yeah, I think for us, we had fall break last week. And so, everyone was wanting to talk about it. And I said, well, bottom line is the food tasted a little bit better over fall break. That was kind of what it did for us. But no, it was a great opportunity for our kids. Really proud of them, continuing to work, continuing to stick together. High school football's a rather amazing sport, and I guess all of high school athletics is pretty incredible. Just the opportunities that you have to improve and get better throughout the course of a year. And I think a lot of times everybody wants to have this instant gratification, and you want to have results immediately. And sometimes that's just not in the cards. And so our kids have been playing hard and practicing hard since we started practicing July. And it was fun to watch a game kind of come together. And obviously, Oakland, we caught them at the exact right time. They had a huge game the week before and a huge game the week after us, and they were on fall break. And so there were lots of factors that were playing in our favor. And biggest thing I think for our kids was being able to play against a quality opponent like Oakland, and the quality of players, and obviously Coach Creasy's one of the best coaches with probably arguably the best coaching staff in the state. It really challenged all of us. And so it was a game that certainly we're proud of, but we've got 2 more region games left, and that's really where our focus is. And so we're excited to have those 2 left, and then getting into November and getting into the playoffs. That's what makes high school football fun.
You guys, CPA, weathered a little bit of a rough patch, maybe into the middle or beginning of the middle, into the first part of the season, whatever you want to call that. But all of your region title goals are intact. I was just curious, how much of a role did injuries play in your guys' trajectory this season, Ingle? Have you gotten guys back that maybe I or people don't know about that have gotten healthy who've helped turn this thing around?
No, it's high school football and in any football at any level, and sports in general, you're always going to have people coming in and out for different reasons, and that really wasn't anything for us that we worried about. I think the most important thing is that we kept seeing areas that needed to improve, and the kids saw spots where they could improve, and they kept trying to do it. And that's all we ask. I tell the kids, as much as they'll listen, you can control two things: your attitude and your effort, and that's really it. After that, it's out of our control, and so that's what we've asked them to focus on, and I think they've done a really good job with that. And for us, no matter who we put out there, that's what's fun about playing is that kid gets opportunity, and we're going to coach him up, and hopefully Friday's an enjoyable experience for him, no matter what the outcome is. Obviously I think we're all creatures that enjoy having some praise and enjoy things going well. But I think that's in high school and really at any level of athletics, that's the opportunity to teach, and what adversity I think gives us is truly a gift if you're able to look at it that way. And so I think our kids, again, for 15 to 18-year-olds, they've handled this season as well as they could. They played against some of the best teams in the state, and gotten to learn and gotten to grow, and really excited about our last 2 weeks of the regular season.
Asher Keck is a guy who 169 of your 173 yards rushing against Oakland. Also, Cruz Law, a couple rushing touchdowns in there too. Do you feel better about, or good? Running the ball has been something you guys have done well a lot of, and I mean, it looks like it's starting to come around at the right time. Do you feel like that's the case?
Yeah, I think Asher played a really good game, and he will be the first one to tell you that the guys up front did a great job. And I think our coaches, Coach Nichols, who coaches our offensive line, and Coach Haywood, who's our offensive coordinator, they did a great job getting the game plan ready. Coach Linger's done a great job developing those backs, and we really have been kind of a back by committee this year. And Asher's number was called this past week, and he was able to make some plays and make some guys miss, which was exciting for him. But I think we're always going to try to run the football. That's kind of what we want to do, and obviously with some great receivers and tight ends, in London Humphreys and Bo Burklow, and Andre Evans has had a great year, and Trey Brown, and we've had a lot of kids step up that on the perimeter that give us opportunity to put the ball in the air some. So I think our running game goes hand in hand with our passing game, and hopefully this week we take another step in improving the way that those two work together.
Yeah, and we're sitting here talking about the running game, and I'm gonna ask you about Braden Streeter, but I just mentioned if you haven't seen London Humphreys, CPA receiver committed to Vanderbilt, play football, go out and do it. He's super talented. That's one of the best receivers in the area, hands down. Numbers, whatever they may be, he's fantastic to watch. But in that passing game, Ingle, Braden Streeter last 2 games, 424 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Is there anything that you feel like he's doing necessarily well? Has he maybe benefited from just maybe playing a little bit more lately?
Yeah, I think our quarterback group at CPA is one that we're very appreciative of, and feel like we're blessed to have. We've got Thomas Vaccaro, who's played a bunch this year, who backed up Cade Law last year. Thomas did really well and got injured in the Cane Ridge game, and then Braden's come in and played well the last 2 games, and really any like I said earlier, anytime when you're 15, 18 years old and you get opportunity to get reps, it's just amazing to watch the improvements that happen. And both those guys have done a great job with it. And then, we have sophomore Hudson Chance, who I don't know if he's still leading the team in touchdowns, but, he was kind of our guy that we were putting in on some short yardage situations. So really all 3 of those guys have done an outstanding job. And, I know that whichever one of them plays or has to play for us, they're going to be ready. But Braden, really proud of how he's grown and how he continues to develop, and just the competitor that he is. But yeah, our kids are excited about this opportunity, and I think Braden for sure is one of them that's the most excited.
Yeah, and there's obviously a huge game this week for you guys, hosting Lipscomb. That's developed into a great rivalry. Lipscomb's obviously one of the top 25 teams in the nation, according to several polls. Is there anything, when you play a game like against a team like Oakland, are you able to pull anything from a game like that could help you this week?
Yeah, I sure hope so, and I hope we can pull it from FRA and Cane Ridge and NBA and Brentwood Academy, and you go down the list. Every game we play, we hope is a chance for them to grow and to learn. Like I said earlier, Oakland's got one of the best coaching staffs and best group of players, in the state. And so when you play against that, when you play against NBA and you play against Brentwood Academies and, Independence, Cane Ridge, the whole schedule that we played, FRA, I mean, those are all teams with really good players and really good coaching staffs. And so not only do the kids get to learn, but the coaches get to learn and grow. And I think, you're really in trouble in any spot in life when you don't think you can learn anymore. And I think that's one of the things that I love about our coaching staff and our kids is that they're always wanting to learn and always wanting to grow. And so, again, what are the opportunities in front of you? How do you learn from them? How do you grow? And then what are you going to do about it? And for us, we've got the most we have left is 7 weeks in our season. And so we want to maximize each and every day. And today is yesterday is already done. Today's the next day that we've got to do it at practice when we start around 4:30 today.
That is the truth in a football season that seems very long at times. That's the day by day is the best approach. We're gonna get you out of here pretty quick, Ingle. But I did want to ask you. You had one of the all-time dad experiences earlier this year, getting to travel to see your son and the Nolensville Little League team play in the World Series. What was that experience like for you?
It was incredible. I think the remarkable thing for our family was my profession and the timing of it. That's what people want to ask me about it. I think more than anybody is just because we're in a family where my wife was a coach, I'm a coach. Football season's teeing off, and then our 12-year-old is doing something that is a once in a lifetime type of deal, and we all recognized it that way. And I'm really, really thankful. I work at a place that supported me. And, our head of school, Nate Morrow, basically said, you don't have a choice. You got to go up there. And so when that happens and all my coaches that coach with me are saying, we got you, go enjoy it, have fun. I think that was really freeing for me to get up there and just be a dad. And that was the cool part, was to go up there and be with a bunch of 12-year-olds, be with those boys that are becoming men, but this is kind of their last taste of childhood, and really it's a special place because all those kids are playing because they truly love it. None of them are thinking about college scholarships or accolades. They all are just playing the game. And Randy Huth and Mark Carter and Evan Satinoff, the three guys that coached our boys, they did a really good job of trying to really balance what that's like, because you are in a super, super competitive, super, largely worldwide important opportunity, but you're with a bunch of boys. And so Randy, I know, has done it a long time, but it's just a struggle. It's just like it is in high school. You've got these kids who are trying to live in an adult world. And I think that was the part that was really fun to watch, was those boys handling that. Our son really grew up a lot. On his own. I think he slept in his bed between regions in the World Series one night out of 26 in August. And so that right there in and of itself for us was a growing opportunity, but really a special moment. If you hadn't been to Williamsport, put it on your list. It's that special. It's that unique. And it's really fun to watch kids play a game for the love of it.
Yeah. Let's keep the kids for a while. We got enough adults in this world at the time being. They can enjoy that. But Ingle, thanks so much for joining us, man. And best of luck to you guys the rest of the season. Those of you out there who don't know, huge game between CPA and Lipscomb this week. Ingle, thanks again. We'll catch you down the road.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all so much. And if y'all ever need anything down the road, please let us know. Appreciate all you do for high school football in the Mid-State.
Absolutely happy to. Same here, Ingle. We're going to take.
And that was Ingle Martin with Tyler Palmatier. I had forgotten that Russell had taken a few days off, so he wasn't there. But Tyler did a wonderful job interviewing Coach Martin. A lot of good stuff from him, Billy, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Ingle Martin is well respected in the Mid-State, and, he's been doing it for a while, and he's he's had a lot of production from a lot of really good players, and they have developed their players. A great example of a private program that schools want to model themselves after. So again, great opportunity tonight for them. I'm sure if you're Ingle, you want to see your team go out there and compete. And there's people out there that want to see Lipscomb beaten. So we'll have to see if CPA has what it takes tonight. But man, there's not too many coaches better than that guy right there, Ingle Martin.
I'm looking at their schedule and kind of it's almost set up perfectly. You guys were talking about how perfect the Tennessee Volunteers football schedule was so far this year. So after upsetting Oakland, they take a bye. You reset mentally and physically. And so you get a bye to reset, but you also get a bye to prepare for Lipscomb Academy. So, what if the CPA team goes from a 2-2 start to beating the two best teams in the state of Tennessee in pretty much consecutive weeks? They've got a bye in there, but in consecutive playing weeks, in terms of what I'm saying, it would be something to see. And honestly, like you said, I'd be surprised because Lipscomb Academy would have lost, but I would not be surprised for the fact that CPA would be able to do something like this, because as you said, one of the most respected programs in all of Tennessee, not just private school, but public school as well. So yeah, they're in for an uphill battle tonight, but if anybody can do it, I think it is CPA. Yeah,
that's why I'm looking forward to it, because you get to see a coach like Ingle Martin take on, one of the best coaches in the state, and Trent Dilfer.
Yep.
It's as good of a talent-wise matchup as a coach matchup. So I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Me too. We are going to take a quick break, but when we do, on the other side, we're going to hear from Tommy Bryan. He's got a very, very important Wilson County sports update to give us. We're also going to hear from Pope Prep head coach Brian Sneed. He talks about the availability of Kenny Minchie, 4-star quarterback committed to Pitt, who has been out for the last several weeks due to a shoulder injury. He also answers the pros to possibly dropping down to Class AA and or staying in 3A. So don't go anywhere. This is Friday Night Live, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
top.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was gonna get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me 10 grand, so no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
I didn't think this would affect so many people.
You think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Hello and welcome back into Friday Night Live, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Just after 6:40 here in the evening, kickoff getting ready to take on in about 19 minutes. We've talked a little bit about a lot of the big games so far. We've heard from Lipscomb Academy's Ingle Martin. I told you before the break we were going to hear from esteemed colleague Tommy Bryan, Hall of Fame member. So, Billy, let's cue that up and give everybody our Wilson County Sports Minute.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Bryan, sports editor of the Wilson Post, with a look at the Wilson County football schedule for Week 10, Friday, October 21. All 7 Wilson County prep football teams are back in action this evening, including Watertown, Lebanon, Central, and Green Hill, all of whom enjoyed open weeks last Friday. Only 2 teams play at home, Watertown and Mount Juliet Christian Academy. Non-region opponent Livingston Academy provides the opposition as the Wildcats take on Watertown High at Robinson Stadium. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. Both teams are back in action following an open date last Friday. The Purple Tigers stand 3-5 on the season following a 26-0 road win over Region 4 2A opponent Harpeth High School back on October 7. Class 4A Livingston Academy has certainly struggled this season. They come to Watertown 0-8 following a 7-0 loss to Cumberland County October the 7th. Red Hot Nashville Christian School has traveled to Mount Juliet Christian Academy for a Division II Class A Middle Region contest. Kickoff 7 o'clock at Ed Suey Field on the MJCA campus. The Eagles, coached by former Vanderbilt standout Jeff Brothers, lost their first 2 games of the season, but have since reeled off 6 consecutive wins, including last Friday's 31-14 victory over Columbia Academy. The Saints, who came out on the short end of a 56-6 game with DCA last Friday, come in 1-7, 0-3 in the region. Friendship Christian School, 7-0, and ranked number 1 in Division II, Class A, by the Associated Press, is back on the road Friday, playing at East Region opponent Lakeway Christian. Kickoff was at 6 p.m. Central in Jefferson County's White Pine community. Lakeway, winners of 3 in a row to start the season, find themselves trying to snap out of a 5-game losing streak in the aftermath of a 52-22 loss to the Kings Academy on October the 6th. The Commanders easily handled Class 4A East Hamilton by a score of 31-14 last Friday in Ooltewah. The Hawks of Green Hill High School have journeyed to Gallatin this evening to take on Station Camp in a Region 5 5A contest. Idle last week, Green Hill sports a record of 5-3, 3-1 in the region after blasting Hunters Lane 35-0 back on October 7. Station Camp also stands 5-3, but they're just 1-3 in the region. The Bison played at Portland last Friday, defeating the Panthers 21-14 to halt a modest 2-game losing streak. Mount Juliet can move to a perfect 5-0 in Region 5 5A with a win tonight at Nashville Hillsboro. The Golden Bears emptied the bench early in last Thursday's 52-0 drubbing of winless Republic Charter. Hillsboro has won only 1 game and 7 starts this year after dropping a 35-21 loss at White County back on October 7. Fully rested following an open date last week, Wilson Central brings a record of 3-5 to the table in tonight's non-region contest at Stewart's Creek High School in Smyrna. Coach Brad Dedman's Wildcats won back-to-back games prior to the fall break, including an impressive 39-30 victory over Station Camp on October the 7th. Class 6A Stewart's Creek sports a record of 4-4, but the Red Hawks have won 3 in a row, including a tight 14-13 victory over Siegel last Friday. In the game I'll be broadcasting tonight on WANT-FM 98.9, longtime rivals Lebanon and Gallatin get together at Calvin Short Field for a non-region contest. Kickoff is set at 7 o'clock with the Jersey Mike's kickoff show beginning at 6:30 p.m. Idle last week due to fall break, the Blue Devils stand 6-2 overall after handing Mount Juliet a 27-6 setback on October the 6th, and Lebanon has won 3 in a row. Gallatin checks in at 4-4 after last Friday's 42-7 home loss at the hands of in-county rival Beach. Tonight marks the 77th recorded meeting between these two mid-state programs, with the Green Wave holding a 50-24-4 advantage. In this note, Lebanon quarterback Jalen Abston sits on the brink of reaching 2 really impressive career milestones: 5,000 career passing yards and 50 touchdown passes. He needs 2 touchdown passes to reach 50 and about 47 yards to reach 5,000 career passing yards. A year ago, Lebanon blanked Gallatin 14-0 at Clifton Tribble Field. That's a look at Wilson County football here in Week 10. For Main Street Preps and the Wilson Post, I'm Tommy Bryan, and I will talk to you later.
We count on it, Tommy. Can't wait to hear next week's report from Wilson County. He always gives us some good nuggets, some good knowledge. And I like playing it before we bring in Ivan Ronan, who will join us a little bit later to talk about Mount Juliet on the road at Hillsboro tonight. You know, those going back to reclassification, and I'm excited to ask Ivan about this, but Mount Juliet, Green Hill, Wilson Central, they all jump up to 6A now to join Lebanon. And speaking of Ivan, let's just talk about that right now, Ivan. You know, TSSAA just put out the other day that reclassification was in full effect for 2023 through 2025. I could not help but notice all of the 5A schools in Wilson County being bumped up to 6A to join Lebanon. Of course, I'm talking about Wilson Central, Mount Juliet, and Green Hill. Have you heard any word early from those coaches just kind of on their thought process of that?
Just a very little bit. There's also a thought that a couple of the Sumner County schools might join that region. I believe Stewart's Creek is already 6A school, if I'm not mistaken, in Rutherford County. They're the biggest high school in Rutherford County, so that might bump them up a little bit. If nothing else, I know all the coaches will be very excited to have the gate potential for all those games being in the county.
heard in Sumner County that Beach and Hendersonville have the opportunity to drop down to 5A. They're still talking about it, but if that leaves only Gallatin in 6A, surely they would go down with Wilson County. But I digress. We've got a lot to get into. There's a lot to unfold with that. But tonight, Ivan, you've got Mount Juliet at Hillsboro. The Golden Bears obviously enjoying a really good season right now, 6-2, coming off a big senior night win. On the road tonight, though. So what are you looking for from this Mount Juliet team before their big game next week to close out the regular season?
Well, I think tonight it's going to be one of those games where Hillsboro might be a different team on the field than it is on paper. Hillsboro has won just one game this year. They beat Hunters Lane, which is also struggling. I had some people from Mount Juliet that I spoke to earlier when I got here to the stadium said that Hillsboro, despite their record, looks very, very athletic on the film. These folks have been watching some film all week. Like you said, Mount Juliet is the only undefeated team in the region. If they win tonight, Mount Juliet would clinch at least a share of the region championship and at least one home playoff game. And then, like you said, next week we'll be playing for either the region title, a share of the region title, and or the number one seed in the playoffs.
And there's a lot of places I want to go here with you. Speaking of Green Hill, has that game replaced Lebanon or Wilson Central as the biggest game on the schedule for Mount Juliet?
I think if they have another game this year like they had last year, when Mount Juliet had a big lead and then Green Hill threw 2 touchdown passes in the final minute of the game to win, it very well could be the big season-ending game that will have all kinds of playoff implications every year, and go on from there, especially as close as the schools are. These kids have all grown up together and played football together. There's some players on the Mount Juliet roster that are actually zoned for Green Hill, and so they're pretty familiar with each other.
One more question about Green Hill before I let you go. They're, of course, on the road tonight at Station Camp. Station Camp has to win tonight if they want any chance of getting into the playoffs. You've been able to see both teams play. How do you think that one's going to shake out, Ivan?
I know Station Camp has had this game circled for a year. They were undefeated going into the Green Hill game last year at this time, and Green Hill just dominated the entire game. I believe the score was 50-0 or 55-0, somewhere where it wasn't even close. And I think Station Camp's a better team than that and just had a horrible night. So I know they've been looking forward to this game. Even if they don't make the playoffs, if they can damage Green Hill's playoff status, that might be enough for them.
Absolutely. Well, Ivan, man, I know you've got an important game to watch tonight, so have fun, man. Maybe get yourself something to eat at the concession stand. I bet they got some good food tonight, Ivan. Stay safe, man, and we'll catch up at the end of this thing, okay?
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot.
See ya. That was Ivan Aronin reporting from Hillsboro High School, where Mount Juliet is on the road in the critical Region 5-5A contest. Billy, I know, I know Ivan. I think Ivan maybe wanted to give Hillsboro a little bit more love than maybe warranted. I know he highlighted the win over Hunters Lane, but I just don't think that they can stay with Mount Juliet tonight. I mean, they're 1-6, and I know they've got athletes, but I think it's just a down year for them. And I mean, outside of they put 23 on Station Camp, they put, of course, 49 on Hunters Lane and 21 on White County. And outside of that, there's been a lot of one-score games. So I just don't know that Hillsboro is going to get anything done on that Mount Juliet defense, who has proved all year long that, they're a formidable unit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a different level of football. No disrespect to Hillsboro, but this is not a team that I think can compete with Mount Juliet. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? It's high school football. Anything can happen. Maybe there's some magic in the air, but I doubt that tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'll tell you what. I want to do a quick scoreboard update because there are some scores. I know we haven't kicked off yet, but I want to get – can you believe this, Billy? I actually had someone criticized me in my neck of the woods for not giving. We did it the one time at the end, but for not giving the entire state scoreboard. They said, "Why are you just giving the mid-state?" And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, we are a mid-state show, but apparently people want Eastern and Western Tennessee scores. So I guess I got to give the people what they want, Billy. So
give the people what they want.
I'm going to do an early scoreboard update. These are obviously just for Eastern Tennessee teams because they're obviously an hour ahead of us. Central Time, just 5 minutes away. But looking over at region number 1, you've got Chucky Doak 20, North Green nothing, Granger with a 21-0 lead over Claiborne. It's Cloudland 8, Johnson City nothing, Daniel Boone with the early 7-0 lead over David Crockett. It's Dobbins Bennett 14, Oak Ridge nothing. Greenville with an early 14-0 lead over Morristown East. It's Pigeon Forge and Happy Valley tied at 7. Jefferson County 14, Morristown West 0. South Green and Seymour knotted at 0. West Ridge with an early 7-6 lead over Tennessee High School. It's Cherokee 6, Volunteer nothing. Hardin Valley and William Blunt tied at 7 in the second quarter. Moving over to Region 2, it's Alcoa with an early 7-0 lead over Tyner Academy. That game right there should be really good. Alcoa's 3A, Tyner Academy 2A. Tyner Academy undefeated, 8-0. Alcoa 7-1 this point through the season. Anderson County leads Bearden 7-0. It's Farragut 35, Fulton 12. Knox Halls with an early lead over Knox Central 7-0. It's Greenback 14, Midway 0. Gatlinburg Pittman 14, Scott High School 7. Sevier County 7, Campbell County 6. West with an early 17-12 lead over Maryville. And Clinton with a 7-7 game against Gibbs. It's Lenore City 14, Heritage 7. McMinn County 14, Loudon 0. Rockwood 14, McMinn County 0. And I'm scrolling down. Ottawa 7, Brainerd nothing. Ray County 7, Bradley Central nothing. It's Stone Memorial 7, Kingston nothing. And that will do it for your 6 o'clock hour scoreboard update, powered by Coach T and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. Billy, that was tough. I don't feel like I took a breath the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, you flew through that one. That was impressive. That was impressive, man.
My third grade reading teacher would be super thrilled that my comprehension
the reading comprehension is there.
It's there. She would be happy. Shout out to Miss Givens at Glayville Elementary in Wilson County for teaching me that. Listen, we're right on kickoff. It's 6:58. We're just a couple minutes away from kickoff. I know the MyTV 30 Rivals game of the week is Beach and Brentwood. We haven't even talked about that. We can get into all that and more once the 7 o'clock hour hits. But first, let's take a quick break, Billy. But when we do, like I said, we're going to get into the Friday Night Rivals game of the week. We're going to hear from more of our reporters. I know Casey Patrick is out there. Brady McAtamney's going to call in. So don't go anywhere. This is Friday Night Live presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was gonna get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me 10 grand. So, no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
I didn't think this would affect so many people.
Think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
And we are back Friday Night Live, powered by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. 2 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour here in Nashville, Tennessee. Before we do anything, I forgot to tease you guys and let you guys know to congratulate Richland's Ethan Workman. We didn't talk about it today on the George Plaster Show. I usually give the Main Street Preps fan-voted Player of the Week a shout-out. I didn't today on the George Plaster Show, so I want to do that real quick right now. That is Richland's Ethan Workman has been fan voted as the Week 9 Main Street Preps Football Player of the Week, earning 41% of the overall vote to edge Pope Pretz, Chet Lax, and White House's Kenny Holt for the honor. He also won the award in Week 5, but last Friday rushed for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns on 29 carries in the 42-41 win over Forest. So congratulations to Richland's Ethan Workman on winning the Main Street Preps Football Player of the Week for Week 9.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, I love we just unveiled this poll this year, and I love it. I think it's been a hit. Anytime you can get engagement, interaction with your fans, I think it's warranted. So, second time he's won it. So shout out to that Richland community for, being loyal to Main Street Preps and for continuing to vote week after week. On the left side of our screen here, Billy, we've got Brentwood and Beach getting ready to kick off here in a minute. They're highlighting Brentwood receiver Matt Manning, 41 receptions, 455 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the season. But I tell you what, that Beach defense is something else. Patrolled in the secondary by J.P. Courtney and Tyler Nix. They give up only like 11 points a game defensively. You're looking at Darius Johnson, who is leading the Bucks on the ground right now, had 162 yards and 2 touchdowns in last week's win over Gallatin, and an interception return for a score as well. So, Brentwood's got a lot to handle tonight. I'm not really sure. Is Brentwood a good football team, or how are they? I mean, you look at their schedule and you look at some of their results and you wonder, how good are they? They lost at Father Ryan when you guys were there. Mm-hmm. So maybe you just put the bad juju on them that night, Billy.
Yeah. Just looking at these teams and kind of the eye test, I look at Beach and I tell myself they're probably the better team and deeper team and more talented team. But Brentwood is a team that, you can kind of throw your talent and depth advantage out of the window. They really like to muddy up the waters during games. I mean, that's what they did against Father Ryan. They've done that in most of their games. It's kind of like Missouri this year. They just kind of suck you into an ugly game. They may not win, but they make it ugly, and that's how they win. That's how they want to win. So, I think if it's ugly tonight, that doesn't mean Brentwood wins, but I think it's going to be a close game either way. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Just kind of who has the upper hand in terms of kind of physicality. Brentwood's a very physical team, but as they just showed on the TV there, Darius Johnson is a load back there for Beach. So I'm looking forward to a lot of things in this game, but more importantly, that defensive matchup. Whose defense steps up. Whose defense steps up. That's what I'm looking for.
You mentioned that Brentwood wants to play ugly. 3-1 the Bruins are in one-score games this year. They're only lost at Father Ryan when they fell 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
The others 7-0 over Franklin, 24-23 over Independence, and 14-12 over Henry County. So, listen, this is a team that maybe isn't undefeated or maybe doesn't have the headlines that everyone else has, but they're still quietly very good. They've been tested. And on the flip side, Beach hasn't been tested in 3 weeks. I mean, you win 42-7 at Gallatin, 42-10 over Springfield, 38-0 over West Creek. It's been a while since Beach has been tested. So is that going to come back to bite them? I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Zach, I got an early scoreboard update. I know we got to get to Brian Sneed. How about this for a start? London Humphreys takes the opening kick, 95 yards for a CPA touchdown.
I tell you what, they want no part of that Caleb Beasley announcement on their field.
Oh my!
At the end of 48 minutes. Thank you for that. So CPA with the early 7-0 lead. We told you guys before the break that we were going to hear from Pope Prep head coach Brian Sneed. I was able to catch up with him earlier this week on my show, the Sumner County Sports Show, that airs every Wednesday from 12:30 to 1, every Wednesday from 12:30 to 1 on Main Street Preps, on Main Street Media TV. And we talked about the season at hand. They're 6-2 right now. They've got a big game tonight against Ravenwood. I asked him about Kenny Minchie, his 4-star quarterback committed to the University of Pittsburgh. He's been out for the last month of the season due to a shoulder injury. I was curious, is he going to play at all the rest of the season? They've got tonight. They've got on the road at McCauley to close out the regular season and then the playoffs. Going to be home for the first round. So will he be back then? Coach Sneed said when he's 100%, he is going to play. I talked to him about reclassification, possibly dropping down from 3A to AA in Division II. So, Billy, let's cue up Coach Brian Sneed from our interview earlier this week. We've got Pope Prep head coach Brian Sneed with us today, joining us. First off, thanks so much for doing this for us. I know you're a busy man, so we appreciate you hopping in. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, man. This has been a good season so far, and excited to talk with you a little bit more.
Absolutely excited to get you back on. We actually wanted to get you on a couple weeks ago, but I had to postpone. So I've been trying to get you back in. So I really appreciate you jumping with us. But you're 6-2, like you said, through 8 games. You got a big one this Friday. What's the atmosphere like around your program right now?
We're excited about where we are. You look at our season so far, and we've had a lot of adversity, just with injuries and with things going on with that. And our guys are starting to figure out kind of how to navigate that. We talk about that a lot in our program, how to handle adversity, how to choose a good response to whatever event you're presented with. And that's shown up in games, showed up in the BGA game. It showed up this past week with Knox Catholic. We do have some confidence. You look at our 2 losses, they're against 2 of the best teams in the state, in my opinion, combined, I think 15-1. So we have some confidence. Hopefully we get healthy, continue to get healthy as we progress and start playing our best football as we get towards the playoffs.
Speaking of that big win over Knox Catholic, quarterback play by Chet Lax was maybe the best it had been all season under center for him. Run game was there. Just talk to us a little bit about that win and about what you learned about your football team after 60 minutes.
Well, that was huge. It was huge for Chet, gaining confidence. And he hadn't practiced quarterback in a long time. So he's played in a couple scrimmages, 2 scrimmages over the last 2 years out of necessity, but really hadn't practiced the position. And so, him being taking all the reps throughout the last few weeks, he's continuing to get better. So going out there and kind of having a game that kind of backs up all the work he's put in over the last few weeks was huge for his confidence, for the team's confidence. And then you had guys step up. In games like that, you got to have guys step up and make plays. Josh Maylander made some huge plays on offense and defense. Ansley Ware was big on both sides of the ball. And so when you have a team that can kind of come together and, not rely on, just looking at one person to make a play, then that's huge. Elijah Robb was big as well. So, I mean, and you could go down the list of guys that stepped up in that game, and that secured a home playoff game for us, which is big. We don't have to travel to the West to go play in that first round. So we're going to, be excited about that home field advantage in the first round.
You mentioned all those athletes, and you're right. I mean, you could kind of go down the list, but I do want to stick with Chet for a minute. He's obviously a standout baseball player for the Knights team as well. I guess, how easy of a decision was it to slot him in, just being the athlete that he is?
Yeah, well, good thing about Chet is, he's a smart football player.
Yeah.
He's moved around in several different positions. We threw him in the middle of the game against BGA, and he was able to efficiently run an offense.
Yeah.
Right? For a guy who hasn't taken a snap at quarterback since the second scrimmage of the season.
Yeah.
So the fact that he can do that. The other thing I love about him, and I think our team loves about him, I mean, he's calm as they can be. When the moment's big or we're having a lot of success, or maybe we're struggling a little bit, like he's the same even kill guy. He's going out there, and I think that just gives the rest of the team confidence that he's not on a roller coaster throughout the game. So again, he's continuing to improve. He's committed to play baseball at Wright State. He's our stud pitcher on the baseball team for us, and he's a guy who knows big moments. I mean, when you're on the mound like pitcher, I mean, you're going to have those big moments where everyone's looking at you, and when you're at quarterback, you're going to have those big moments where everyone's looking at you. So he's used to that kind of pressure. He's used to being the guy in that moment. So now, can we continue to get him to improve, week to week, day to day?
A quarterback's best friend is not only a good wide receiver, but it's a good running back. And you guys have a really good one in the backfield in Elijah Robb. I'm curious, just how much does he help you take that pressure off of a defense, whether, because they obviously, if they want to stack the box, you can obviously go to the top, but they can't stack the box because, you've got weapons on the outside. I guess, how much does he help your offense?
Huge. I mean, just like you said, it's pick your poison. If you want to add numbers to the box, we got, Colin Cook and Mainlander out there. And if you want to kind of spread out or double one of those guys, and we got a guy that's run the ball pretty hard. Elijah he's tough. He's a tough kid. He's battled through some of his own injuries throughout the season, and he runs the ball hard, and he's really good about finding that crease and going and making a guy miss. And even though he might not have the 70, 80-yard runs, he picks up first downs and he keeps the thing going, and he just runs the ball hard, and he brings that mentality to the rest of the team of being physical, playing hard, and giving everything you got.
I certainly don't want to leave anybody out, but I'm going to ask about one more player. You mentioned him earlier, Josh Maylander. We've talked about him before, but his just continued growth in this program. He caught another 4 passes last week, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. He gets the go-ahead pick 6, which was maybe his second or third of the year.
I think it was the 4th, actually.
Yeah, so
it's crazy.
His knack for the football, is that something that can be taught, or is that just God-given at this point?
It's a little both. I would say probably more natural talent than anything, but I mean, you do have to have a general knowledge of where you're supposed to be. And I mean, he's, like you said, it's 1 year in the program. He's picked up both sides of the ball where he needs to be on any given play, but a lot of it is natural talent that can't be coached, and just you got to have a mentality that anytime the ball's available in the air, like, I'm going to go get it, and he has that. And then the talent to pull away and outrun some guys once he has it in his hands is been great to see, and has been huge momentum shifting plays for us the last few weeks.
Absolutely. Have a chance to honor your seniors this week against Ravenwood. You've obviously been around them through the entire 4 years, 3 years as DC, now their head coach. Can you just talk to us about what this class means to you? And I guess how much this senior class helped transition into the next phase of Pope Prep football?
Yeah, so we have 21 seniors. I mean, honestly, top to bottom, I think it's probably our most talented senior class that we've had. And we mentioned a lot of them already, but we got guys in there who maybe don't get recognized as much, that really have poured their heart and soul into the team, and provided playing time in different situations, guys that have stepped up when other players have been injured, or guys that have been consistent on special teams like Zach Montgomery, Turner Curley, and Braden Rayborn has stepped up. You got a lot of guys. Braden Jones is going to need to step up this week that in that class that we always talk about, the top, 7 or 8 guys in that senior class. But having 21 seniors has been huge for us, just as far as the leadership goes and how we want to run a program. They've kind of led the way there as far as where this program is going and what we want to accomplish. So it's going to be a fun night to celebrate them. We have kind of a countdown in our locker room as far as how many days are left for those guys. And, I hope the rest of the team kind of steps up and pours all out for them so that they can, leave the last regular season game on the turf with a victory. So, but yeah, they've been huge, and, I'm excited to see how they play this Friday, but also, moving into another region game and into the playoffs.
For sure. Speaking of that game against Ravenwood, let's talk a little bit about the Raptors. They're 5-3 on the season. I'm not sure if Chris Parson will play. I don't know the status of him. I know he's missed several weeks. I don't know his status, but what does the film tell you about Ravenwood?
I mean, they're a good football team. They're well coached. They play hard. The games that we have some games with Parson in and with them not in, and they do things differently when he's not in the game, just as we've had to do things differently without Minchie in. And but they're a really good 6A program that's going to come in ready to play and ready to battle, and we got to be prepared for that. I think they kind of put it on us last year. We jumped out, thought we had things rolling, and then they kind of stormed back and took control of the rest of the game. So, this is a team that's not going to give up no matter what the situation is, and we got to be prepared to play, a full 48 minutes.
I got to ask you, Coach, what's the status of Kenny? Will he play again this season?
Yeah, we're expecting him to play this season. Like I've told you, it's kind of week to week. We're going to see where he is at the end of the week. I think he's getting close, but we'll see how he feels towards the end of the week. But yeah, the plan is that once he feels 100% and ready to get back out there, we're going to get him back out there.
The TSSAA announced yesterday new classifications. I think a lot of schools probably already had an idea of what was going on, but they officially put it out yesterday. Your football program officially falls from the 3A threshold down to AA. I guess my first question should be, just to cover my bases here and not assume, are you guys going to stay in AA, or will you try to play up to 3A?
Well, we're still that's something that we're talking with administration. We added a middle school program last year, 6 through 8. That's kind of changed the dynamic of our high school. And so honestly, when those numbers came back, it kind of took us by surprise a little bit. And so, we still have a couple weeks to make that decision. We don't want to rush it. We want to make sure that we're looking at all avenues here. We have an interim head of school right now, Karen Phillips, and we're looking at bringing in a new president here in the spring. So there's a lot of stuff that we need to kind of look through and examine and just make sure we're making the right decision for not only our football team and program, but the school as a whole.
Could you maybe give some cliff notes on maybe the pros and cons of both AA and 3A?
I don't know what really I don't know if I can give you a good list of it. I mean, football is football at the end of the day. I would say one of the pros of being in AA would be that the region that they have right now is all in Middle Tennessee. Mm-hmm. We have to travel at least once a year, sometimes twice a year to the east part of the state, or when we were in the West region out to Memphis. So that's a big pro for being in AA. A pro for being in AAA is you're playing among the best teams in the state every week in and week out. So there are pros and cons to both of them. And those are all things that we're going to try to consider before that deadline here in the next couple of weeks to figure out what we need to do.
Very good. Yeah, I put out a story yesterday for Sumner County, and I just assumed, and then I had conversations with coworkers, and they're all just like, let's just, double check here, make sure everybody, because there was a lot of shift in the county, as you saw in a lot of sports. So But anyways, we really appreciate you jumping on with us. I know you're a busy man. We're going to let you go. Thank you so much for talking about your program. Best of luck on Friday night, and can't wait to see how it shakes out, man.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Yep, you bet. Polk Prep head coach Brian Sneed on to talk about his program, all the things. Kenny Minchie, his status, AAA to AA, the season as a whole. So really appreciate him jumping on with us. Beach has taken an early 3-0 lead over Brentwood in the first quarter. I see Casey Patrick on our graph right now. Casey, how you doing, man? You find some cell service?
Yeah, I had to walk on the other end of the field, but I finally found some. But yeah, I'm out at Hickman County tonight. It's Hickman County's homecoming. Of course, we don't cover Hickman County. Ain't got a paper out here, but they're playing Harpeth, and so I decided to make the short trip out here. It's pretty close to my house, so Harpeth up early and quick, and they've been the much better team so far.
Yeah, I guess it was just not very difficult to talk you out of Glencliff Creekwood, Casey.
Well, I had a few folks come talk to me. Of course, Creekwood won. They won the state championship today for volleyball, so I saw quite a few of the Creekwood folks, and they all asked me if I'd be out there, and I told them it's going to be a bloodbath, and I don't really want to do that. And I needed the Harpeth photos, so it's just about as quick a drive for me to come out here. So I figured I'd come out here and get some photos and see Coach Loop. I haven't seen this Harpeth group in a few weeks now, so it's good for me to get out here.
How good was it for you, Casey? Because, I mean, you donned the Creekwood bowling jersey. You are the head coach at Creekwood High School. I think you said, 7 years now, 8 years? How nice was it? And I know, you try to be impartial as a journalist, but someone who, obviously has Creekwood right there. What was it like seeing them win state today in volleyball?
Well, and like you said, I try really hard to be the best reporter that I can whenever it's not polling season. And of course, I know a lot of those kids and I know a lot of those parents. And Coach Baker, I've known him for a long time too, and it was I'm not gonna lie, man. It was actually really impressive to watch. It was one of the best volleyball games I've ever seen. And of course, East Hamilton had beat Creekwood earlier this week. Creekwood was able to get them back today. But it was really an emotional moment. There's 5 seniors. They've been together forever on that team. That was a big moment for them. And like I said, I tried not to root too hard, but it was really a wonderful moment to see those kids, the fruits of their labor, and they had worked really hard and they deserved this. And that's what most of them told me when I talked to them after the game. So that was an awesome moment. It's so hard to like you said, be impartial, but it was a really sweet moment for them.
Yeah, it's always fun watching. If you have a tie to a team or not, it's always fun watching a team, celebrate that gold hardware. But Casey, back to this football game tonight. You mentioned you hadn't seen Harpeth in a little while. What exactly are you looking for from them tonight?
I kind of want to see a lot of what I've already seen out of them. They had a pretty rough showing against East Robertson a few weeks ago. And right now the team that's playing it, they just picked off a pass, a Hickman County pass. They're already up 13-0 halfway through the first quarter. But I kind of want to see what I'd seen earlier in the year whenever they went off against whenever they faced Cheatham County Central. They beat them 40-0. Get back to the ground game, have the energy. That's the word I was looking for. Have the energy on the sideline, and they've got it tonight. These coaches, these players, they're all ready to go. And with the playoffs coming up, Harpeth, they've got a chance. They're going to be in the playoffs, and so anybody's got a chance now. So that's what you want to see. You want to see the energy and execution, and so far it's been pretty good for them.
Before I let you go, Casey, I got to talk to you about it, man. Our Vols did it, Casey. They did it. They snapped. Yes, they snapped the long streak, just like you said they would last Friday. So how did you celebrate, Casey? Can you tell us?
Yes, I can. Okay. I actually I was up till about 4:00 in the morning before I could really, process everything that had happened. I didn't have too much to drink, but I did drink a few for celebration. But basically the most important thing for me was giving a hug to my brothers and to my biological dad. They're all big Tennessee fans, and it's been a long time. It's been a really long time. So that was a huge moment for Tennessee fans, and like I said, that was even in that fumble when Dallas Thompson or whatever his name is ran in for the touchdown. I didn't really care. I felt like Tennessee was going to win the whole time, and they did. And you just can't tell me nothing. That was like almost a whole week ago, and nobody still can't tell me anything. I'm still on top of the world.
All right, Casey, what do you think the Georgia matchup goes y'all's way? Is that a little bit tougher? I mean, what do you think y'all are able to do in Athens?
Well, and this is what I've been telling people all week long. The fact that people are asking me that they think, can Tennessee beat Georgia? And you got Georgia fans that are scared. I know that the win or loss does matter, and I'm not saying that. But what's really important here is the fact that as a Tennessee fan, or if you're a fan of another team that has to play Tennessee, you know they're coming to play ball. They may not win the game. I don't have a magical 8-ball that tells me everything. They may not win that game against Georgia, but I'm going to tell you right now, if Georgia don't show up, they're going to lose because Tennessee's going to show up. They're going to score points. I don't care how good Georgia's defense is. Tennessee's going to score at some point. And it's the first time in a long time that as a Tennessee fan, I feel like it don't matter who else is on the other side of that field. Tennessee's going to show up and they're going to play football. And that's a heck of a fun. It's a lot of fun to watch.
I don't see Stetson Bennett beating Hendon Hooker. I mean,
Stetson Bennett didn't beat Hendon Hooker last year either. You know, you got to give a lot of credit to the other players on that field. The defense is nasty. They do have a really good running game. They recruit the offensive line well. Mm-hmm. And listen, y'all ain't got enough time for me to sit here and talk about everything Georgia does good. They're a great football team. Don't get me wrong. I don't care. Tennessee's a good football team too. And like I said, they're going to make people show up if you're going to play them.
Hey, man. Well, Casey, I'm going to let you get back to your football game, man. Get you something to eat and check back in with us later on, okay?
I've been eating all day. I need to slow down, but I'll check back in later.
All right, man. That was Casey. See ya. Casey Patrick checking in from Hickman County where they played Harpeth. Beach High School, Darius Johnson with an interception at midfield. And going to be Beach's football. Beach just kicked a field goal to go up 3-0. It was Brentwood's ball. They throw an interception. Darius Johnson returns it about 20 yards. Going to be Buccaneers football on the Bruin side of the field when they return with 1:21 left in the first quarter. But we've been telling you guys about the CPA Lipscomb Academy game that we were going to look into for a little while now. That call went with Casey a little bit longer than maybe anticipated. But Billy, do we still have that game ready to go to pull up so that we can listen to?
Yes, we do. We do. And we've got the 104.5, the zone feed as well, so we can get that fired up here. This is a great game, by the way. CPA leads 14-0.
Really?
CPA is up on Lipscomb Academy 14-0.
Wow.
That's a red alert right there.
They heard.
Are you ready?
So we are ready to go.
Warehouse Hiring Day is coming on October 26th. Amazon will host live hiring events in your city to showcase all the reasons why this Amazon warehouse is the place to work. Things like competitive pay, great benefits, and so much more. Drop in for some swag, bring a friend, and you could even walk away with a job. To find an Amazon Warehouse Hiring Day event close to you, visit Amazon.com/hiring day. That's Amazon.com/hiring day. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
And 11 from its own 19.
Well, the timing was messed up from the jump on that play because running back Drew Patterson ran right into the back of his quarterback, Hank Brown, as he was trying to let go of the screen. Brown had to pull it back down, reset, and then throw the screen to the left, and it was covered up by CPA.
Mustangs out of sorts on 2nd and 11 on play action. High throw is corralled by Sherrill, and he's immediately stopped again. A physical tackle by Jackson Matthews. Forward Progress has him down at the 24-yard line. It's 3rd down and 6, and it feels like Lipscomb Academy has to move the chains here.
Absolutely. You cannot give the ball to CPA in plus territory again. Give them the chance to go up by 3 scores in front of a rocking crowd here in Week 10. No question, this is a massive down, 6 yards to gain for the Lipscomb Academy Mustangs.
Senior quarterback Hank Brown completes 68% of his passes, 26 touchdowns compared to 3 interceptions. But he's not seen a challenge like this CPA defense. On 3rd and 6, final play of the first quarter. Play action, Brown rolling to his right, rounds the corner, throws on the run, has his man. Sherrill catches it at the 35 and breaks loose, up to the 35 and past the 40. Finally wrestled down to the 41-yard line. Hank Brown took a shot and is still down after this play. It's a pickup of 17, first down at the end of the first quarter. And we do have a penalty flag back at the 25, Lucas.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a shot that Brown took, as it was a great check down by Brown. Looked like he was going to run it, try and angle it around the right sideline, but at the very last moment, he dumped it down to Sherrill, who showed his yards after catchability there, but
it's an illegal forward pass on Hank Brown.
He was ahead of the line of scrimmage.
Past the line of scrimmage, the flag laying at the 25. A Herculean effort by senior quarterback Hank Brown, but he was just past the line of scrimmage. A Houdini act will go for nothing. The first quarter ends with a penalty and a 4th down upcoming. CPA 14, Lipscomb Academy nothing. A 16-game winning streak already on the ropes for the Mustangs. A big 4th down coming up when we come back. It's week 10 of high school football. CPA up by 2 touchdowns right here on 104.5 The Zone.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line.
Listening to CPA Lipscomb Academy, courtesy of 104.5 The Zone. I believe that was Will Bowling and Lucas Panzica on the call. Hope I said Will's last name correctly.
Will Bowling.
Bowling, okay. Apologize for the first one. But nevertheless, can't believe that CPA is up 14-0 on Lipscomb Academy right now. I mean, they started it off hot, 95-yard kickoff return for 6 from London Humphreys. They get off the field on defense with a 3-and-out. They respond with another touchdown. They're about to force Lipscomb Academy into another punt. Hank Brown also may be down injured. Took a big shot after that play. So, man, things could be snowballing fast for Lipscomb Academy tonight.
Yeah, and Zach, I know we both kept saying, I don't think CPA is going to win it,
Right.
but it's good, but it could be close. I'm starting to change my mind. I think CPA can win this game.
Yeah.
It's at their home turf. There's already probably a little bit of bad blood with some of the CPA players, and Caleb Beasley announcing that he's announcing his college commitment on the field after the game. I mean, that's all the bulletin board material you need. So, and you're led by a great coach. So, man, I can't wait to keep watching this one.
Absolutely. Let's do a quick scoreboard update before we jump back into that game. I'm going to go strictly with Middle Tennessee scores on this one. I'm leaving out of East Tennessee. You know who you are, who I'm talking to.
East Tennessee has gotten enough love the past week. I mean,
the person who I'm talking to, I know they're watching, so we'll get to it at the end of the show. But first off, Region 4, Clay County with a 16-0 lead over York Institute. It's Hart County, Kentucky 12, Community nothing. Gordonsville with a 14-0 lead over Red Bowling Springs. It's Ottawa 14, Brainerd nothing. Bradley Central 14, Bray County 7. Rockville and Coffee County knotted at 7. It's Sequatchie County 10, Whitwell nothing. Kingston 7, Stone Memorial 7. Upperman and Walker Valley tied at 7 as well. Beach with an early 3-0 lead over Brentwood. It's Riverdale 7, East Nashville nothing. Fayetteville 16, Huntland 3. Gallatin and Lebanon knotted at 0 as we enter the second quarter. I do know that is actually correct. I just got a text from one of my coworkers, so that score is correct. Smith County with a 1-point lead over Macon County. It's 14-13 in the first quarter. It's Obion County 21, Dresden nothing. Crockett County 14, Lexington 7. McKenzie 21, Hollow Rock Brewston nothing. Gleason 8, Perry County nothing. Waverly with an early 7-0 lead over Cheatham County, and Westmoreland and White House tied at 7. And that is your 7 o'clock hour scoreboard update presented by Donnelly Timmons Custom Home Builders. If you need your home remodeled, rebuilt, Donnelly Timmons is your man. Do you think that Lipscomb Academy CPA game is back from commercial break?
It is back from commercial break.
Let's hear from 104.5 The Zone's Will Bowling and Lucas Panzica.
Type of mistakes Lipscomb Academy has made the entire first half.
The CPA offensive line deserves a lot of credit for the holes they're opening up for this group of running backs for the Lions. On 3rd down and 2, up the middle, Easton Dillard. He'll have his first down up to the 35, a 6-yard pickup. Nobody touched him until he had already crossed the sticks. 1st down and 10, CPA is on the move again.
I mean, that's Brady Smith, the center, Preston Finucane, the right guard, both 6'1". Smith 250, Finucane 235, sophomore, junior. I mean, these guys aren't even seniors, and you're talking about the length and power they have up front. It's just a staple of this program.
1st down and 10, CPA 14, Lipscomb Academy nothing. Lions looking to add on to a 2-touchdown advantage. Streeter, high snap, hops up to get it, gives it to Dillard, and he's got nothing. Thrown down in the backfield, Edwin Spillman, his 9th tackle for loss this season. It's a loss of 2, 2nd down and 12 upcoming. Lipscomb Academy's defense doesn't need a lot of help. The delay of the high snap allowing Spillman to get in the backfield.
Yeah, you avoided disaster, certainly, but it gave Spillman just that extra second that he doesn't even necessarily need. You're talking about the number 1 player in the state of Tennessee for the junior class, one of the best linebackers in the country, Edwin Spillman. You give him an opportunity, he's going to violently tackle you for a loss like he did there, his 9th of the year.
2 tight ends in motion, Burklow and Carroll from the left to the right of the formation on 2nd down and 12. Give goes to Dillard, starts up the middle and bounces it out to the outside. He slips on the big green turf monster, and he's down at the 36-yard line, but a penalty flag is going to move this back, holding the initial indication against CPA.
Yeah, that'll back them up and going to make it a tough situation here for this offense. It's interesting how they've sort of developed this 1-2 punch at running back. Asher Keck and Easton Dillard were not RB1, RB2 at the start of the season whatsoever. They've had to do a lot of retooling this team. It's not something they've had to deal with the last couple of years, right? Cade Law at quarterback, Langston Patterson at running back, both now at Vanderbilt, one playing baseball, one playing football, but those have been their guys for the last couple of seasons, and now they're having to just kind of retool some things, and they're winning games, and they're competitive along the way.
2nd down and 21 now, back at the 46-yard line, CPA on the plus side of the 50. But back close to where they started this drive. 2 receivers out to the left side. Quarterback Braden Streeter barking out the signals with 5 seconds on the play clock, and Engel Martin's got to use another timeout. He's frustrated talking to his offensive coaching staff on the near sideline. Timeout CPA, their 2nd of the half. Stopping the clock with 8:37 in quarter number 2.
And the frustration probably comes from having to use his first 2 timeouts in similar situations, right? Play clock running down, guys a little bit confused, a lot of motions, receivers not positive where to be, and just have to call time and hit the reset button. You don't want to be doing that twice by the 8:37 mark in the second quarter. But on 2nd and 21, again, it's just about maybe not looking for that big play. You can't get it all at one time. Just avoid the disastrous mistake here.
With 8:37 left, both teams will get an opportunity to talk about this one. I remember having the conversation with you, Lucas, after Oakland's win over Blackman, when we talked about Oakland coming here to this CPA environment. And the conversation we had was never count out an Engel Martin coach team.
Well, remember, CPA almost knocked off Oakland a year ago. That was a 3-point game at Oakland High School. Obviously, that's a CPA team that went on to the state championship, just veteran talent all over the place. But Oakland knew that was going to be a challenge coming into this game. Trust me, they did not take CPA lightly. The Lions just flat out beat them.
And Trent Dilfer certainly knew it was going to be a challenge as well. Man, he's coached here a couple of times on the road sideline. On 2nd down and 21, Braden Streeter steps up, taken down. He lost the football. Lipscomb Academy picks it up. Bryant Loving, he's going to turn into a runner. 50, 40, 30, one man to beat, and the tackle made down at the 20-yard line. There is a flag back on the other end of the field at the 40, but either way, it's a fumble and a Lipscomb Academy recovery. Another big play, this time for the Mustangs.
Oh, we talk about avoiding disaster, right, Will? And right there, Streeter took a big hit from behind him as he looked like he was going to run, and then he slammed on the brakes. London Humphreys was streaking open down the left sideline. If Streeter had had time to set his feet and let it loose, could have been a big play there. Just ran out of time, and that Lipscomb Academy defense with its pursuit knocked the ball free and returned it for a big run back, but we'll see what the penalty is here.
It was the 8th forced fumble of the season for Lipscomb Academy, and we've got a penalty on the return. Personal foul. That's going to be a blindside block, and that's going to go against Lipscomb. So instead of getting it on the plus side of the 20, it's going to be all the way back at Lipscomb Academy's own 25, it looks like.
Yeah, it was basically right as the fumble happened. I think the flag was thrown because the run back started around the 40 of Lipscomb Academy, and they're going to have it here on their own 25.
So either way, turnovers, the story of the game so far. 2 turnovers for Lipscomb Academy, 2 turnovers for CPA. But 2 touchdowns for the Lions. The Mustangs bring the offense back out onto the field, looking to take away the 0 on the scoreboard. Operating from right to left, quarterback Hank Brown in the gun. Play fake. Left side, pass is caught. Kamarian Ward has to go down to a knee to catch it at the 29-yard line. Good throw outside the numbers by Brown. It's a 4-yard pickup, second down 6.
Yeah, he got it there, but you certainly want to set your player up for success as far as being able to take space and to run after catch when you have that type of screen pass. Wasn't quite able to do that, but it is a first down game.
With tempo, Lipscomb Academy will briefly huddle. Sloan Bass, a freshman, has come in at left guard as the Mustangs shuffle things up a bit up front. Pistol set for Hank Brown. Fakes the give right side. It's a pitch play left side, and they've got blockers. Junior Sherrill, 35 to the 40, 45 to the 50. Plus side of the field, out of bounds at the 47-yard line. There's Junior Sherrill with room and a first down and 10. Big play for the Lipscomb Academy offense on the move.
You can't afford to give that guy room if you're the CPA defense. The entire formation was moving to the right. Sherrill came in motion when he was lined up wide right, took the pitch coming left, and it was nothing but green grass in front of him.
24-yard pickup and a first down and 10. Lipscomb Academy on CPA's side of the 50 for the first time tonight with 7:40 to play in the second quarter. Hank Brown, it's the same play. They're going to run it left side again. Dylan Lorick with space to the 45 to the 40. Outside the numbers at the 35-yard line, and he's taken down at the 31. Open field stop by Riley Gregory, but not before 14 more yards and another Lipscomb Academy first down.
Yes, same play, different player, and now this offense is in a groove.
Pistol set for Brown. Man in motion is Spillman. The handoff goes up the middle to Patterson. Dances by the big pile laying right in front of him, and he's going to get the football forward to the 26-yard line. 5-yard pickup. Gregory made the stop again at open field. Back on the football again. Second down, 5 yards to go. Brown on the pistol set. They fake the give. Rolling out to the right with time and space. Lofts one towards the sidelines. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Sherrill, who was waiting at the 5-yard line. Tough throw for Brown on the run, and a third down and 5 upcoming.
Yeah, Jernigan was on the coverage there. That was a post route going to that far right pylon, and Brown, as he rolled right, wanted to throw it initially. He saw Jernigan was close, allowed Sherrill to get a couple of steps on him, then just kind of try to layer the throw to the 5-yard line, overthrew it just a touch. That's a tough throw to make, rolling right, in motion with Sherrill streaking to the pylon.
Trailing 14-0 with a hurt kicker. This feels like 4-down territory on 3rd and 5 for Lipscomb. Swing pass, right side. Sherrill's going to throw it back to his quarterback. Here goes Hank Brown at the 30, 25-20. Outside the numbers at the 15, to the 10. A flag flies as he waltzes into the end zone. But a couple of flags on the outside on the final block to Spring Brown will likely bring this one back. Love the play design from Trent Dilfer and Jamie Graham, but somebody, I think, got a little too much jersey on the boundary.
Lipscomb Academy pulled out the playbook for this drive. My goodness. Well executed double pass there to the quarterback. You just don't really expect to run with the football like that or to be put in that position. And they executed it really well. I wonder if that was a block that was thrown here on the near sideline. They're discussing it.
They're talking about the penalty flag. Lipscomb Academy fans are cheering, but it is a holding penalty against the Mustangs. And the foul occurred at the 12-yard line, meaning it will be pushed back to the 22 and brings up 3rd down and a yard.
Well, I love this. Despite the penalty, Lipscomb Academy clearly pumping up their crowd on the
Appreciate you staying with us through some technical difficulties. That's never happened before.
Yeah, we had producers in our ear. We had to reset there, but no, we got to bounce back. Just a few minutes. We got connection back up and rolling, so we're good to go.
The Ethernet just could not handle all the heat that we were putting out. Just all the scorching takes. It burned up on us, shut down. But I know we had before we kind of lost all signal. I know Brady McAtamney was trying to call in. Blaine Keller was trying to call in. So I've reached back out to those guys to hear from them. But until we do, Beach with a 10-0 lead over Brentwood. Darius Johnson with a pick six, his second in as many weeks. He's up to 3 carries for 73 yards, highlighted by a 65-yard scamper in the first quarter. But Billy, you kind of mentioned it before kickoff. This one's going to be just an old school knockdown, drag out football game. And outside of that pick six, that's exactly what it's been, because it's been some hard hitting tonight.
Yeah. It's been a physical football game like we expected. And, I think neither of these teams, neither of them are going to do, too much damage in the playoffs. I don't think.
Right.
I mean, they're good teams, but I don't know if these are, top flight teams in their region, but it still gives us a great football game. Who knows?
Let me say this. I think Beach, I'm more in tune with Beach and the region that they match up with. The region that they match up with this year is going to be very difficult, because it's Cane Ridge, Smyrna, Overton as your top 3 seeds. And honestly, those 3 football teams could beat every single football team in this region in 5-6A. So, it could be a one and done type of situation for Sumner County football this year, as Darius Johnson gets on the outside for another 15-yard gain. He's just kind of been on a different level the last few games. Talking about Darius Johnson for Beach, he's just kind of, he came into the year as one of 3 in the backfield, and he's really just kind of taken over that backfield for Beach, up to 88 yards on offense. Got a tackle for loss, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown so far tonight. Darius Johnson,
my goodness,
playing his tail off tonight as Beach High School takes the snap, hands off to Caden Tiemann, who runs around for breaks a couple tackles. That's a nice little run there for Beach. Brady on here. Sorry about that, Brady. I didn't see that you were on the line. How are you doing tonight?
I'm on the line. I'm glad you guys are back up too.
Yeah, we kind of had a little bit of technical difficulties. We really didn't know what was going on, but happy to get us back up. So tell us a little bit about your game, Brady. What's going on there tonight?
Yeah, so I'm at Northwest at Kenwood. This is my first time seeing either of these teams this season. They both had kind of rough seasons as they're going through kind of a bit of a retooling period. But I've seen some pretty good plays so far. These are 2 teams that they've got some good athletes here and there. They don't necessarily have full pictures on their team. There are definitely gaps. But I've seen some really nice plays from both of these teams.
Brady, can you tell me the nickname? Why does Austin P Football call you AKA Scoops?
So that was a little inside joke with me and one of the sports information guys, Casey Krieger. I was telling him about how one of their guys, Knox Reeves, who is a football player at Clarksville High, he freelances with us at Main Street Preps, and our joke with him is that he is the intern. And I told Casey over there that we call him the intern, and that he doesn't necessarily like it, so they were able to put that on his name tag. So he told me that I've got the scoops.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Brady. Hey, all of your teams were able to enjoy the bye week last week. It wasn't a bye week for you. You still had to cover another game, another opportunity, or another football game. I'm curious, from your vantage point, do these teams look fresher? I'm sure you're going to talk to those guys about it at the end of the game. Just have you seen anything different after this bye week for both of these teams?
These teams are definitely both energized. This is a chance for both these teams to get their first win against city opponents this season. They both lost all the other Montgomery County teams that they've played, so they're definitely energized. I'm sure the bye week definitely helped with that. Rest their bones a little bit. So yeah, I'd say it definitely helped a bit.
And you had Northwest head coach, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, on your show earlier this week, and he had talked about
Ronaldo Pena.
Thank you.
Yeah,
talked about how they were going to play up in 6A this year, and you're probably going to get a lot of that in Clarksville Is that kind of the feel? Is it safe to move forward with all of Montgomery County coming together to create a region in football next year?
Yeah, it's exciting being able to see kind of a super region here in Montgomery County. It's going to help renew a lot of these rivalries because right now you got 3 teams in 6A, 3 teams in 5A, 1 team in 4A. Unfortunately, Montgomery Central won't be able to move up to 2 regions, rather 2 classifications at once. That is something that they talked about doing, but they won't be allowed to do that. But it's going to be really cool, man, to see 7 different teams in the same city all playing for the same region title.
Yeah, that's gonna be very cool. Going to add a lot of pressure to those games. Going to make them even more important. But Brady, we're going to let you get back to it, man. We appreciate you checking in with us. And if something crazy happens, let us know, okay?
You betcha. Thanks, guys.
Yep, you bet. Brady McIntyre. I didn't see him. He was on the line. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm not blaming you.
I'm sorry. Listen.
Speaking of, I'm not blaming Lipscomb Academy right now because they are down 21-13.
Okay.
Guess who just had another house call? London Humphreys.
I was going to guess London Humphreys.
Another kickoff return for a touchdown.
So they're up 27-13.
No, 20. So that put them at 21.
Gotcha.
Lipscomb Academy actually just scored, but they missed the PAT, so it's 21-13. CPA leads. But I mean, I expect I'm not surprised CPA is in here in the game and competing, but I am surprised they're winning and actually controlling this game really right now.
Yeah, offense,
there's a lot of game left, but
a lot of game left. Yep. But offense, defense, special teams, clearly special teams is working.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, and that's kind of an intangible. Like if you want to beat Lipscomb Academy, you're going to have to take a couple kickoffs to the house, and that's what they've done. And
absolutely,
you're going to have to get an interception. You're going to have to force a fumble. They forced a fumble already. So Lipscomb Academy is on their heels right now, and CPA is pouncing.
Billy, let's do this because I have Marthany calling in about 10 minutes from Oakland and Liberty Creek, which Oakland is leading that game very easily, but we still wanted to check in with Marthany. So why don't we do this? We're going to take a quick break, but when we do, we'll prep that game, and then I know Marthany will call in to talk about Oakland and Liberty Creek. I'm just tripping all over myself here tonight, Billy. But don't go anywhere. This is Friday Night Live, powered by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was gonna get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me 10 grand. So, no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
I didn't think this would affect so many people.
You think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your name, sir. Where you are right now? Now.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your name, sir. Where you are right now? Now.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
And we are back Friday Night Live just after 8 o'clock. Welcome in Blaine Keller to the show tonight. Blaine, tell us about your football game, man. What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a pretty interesting one here in Greenbrier, Region 5-4A contest to determine if the Bobcats make it to the postseason for the first time since 2017. Greenbrier leads at 13-3. They forced 3 first-half turnovers on Tullahoma there, the reigning state 4A champs.
Blaine, I want to hit on Forest and East Robertson real quick before we jump back into Tullahoma Greenbrier, just because that was a game you covered last night. I know it wasn't very close, but an opportunity for East Robertson to honor its seniors and an opportunity for you to just tell us about the resurgence that's taking place in Cross Plains.
Yeah, it's been really interesting when you look at I think maybe some people would look at the past 10 years of East Robertson football and say there have been a couple of bright spots. Of course, Taylor Groves definitely comes to mind, someone who signed and plays at Ole Miss right now, a 4-star safety. But, record-wise, this team hasn't had a winning season until 2009, and just 2 in the past 17 years. So, I mean, you've really got to tip your cap to Chase Brooks and the staff at East Robertson in their first year. I think, it's something I've talked about in Robertson County a lot. And I think the mid-state's starting to take notice on it a little bit. I mean, beating good teams like Westmoreland, Watertown, and even Forest will give you that recognition.
Absolutely. Moving back over to Tullahoma and Greenbrier. Listen, Greenbrier has dropped 2 in a row. They've only scored 1 touchdown against Creekwood and then Pearl Cone. No disrespect to Tullahoma, but Blaine, in your opinion, how much do you think those past two losses were really able to prepare Greenbrier for what they would see tonight in Tullahoma?
Well, what's really surprised me, and I think this kind of comes down to play style kind of favoring Greenbrier here, is that Tullahoma's really been slinging the ball tonight. They are not afraid to pass, and they've had a couple of big plays, but they've also had 2 interceptions. Both of those came on their first 3 drives. So I think while you play some tough competition like Creekwood and Pearl Cone to kind of gear yourself up for the end of the regular season in a big game like this, playing a team that's going to pass the ball a lot when you have a good defense helps too.
Absolutely. And one other thing, Blaine, Springfield leading Portland 20-0. I think we're probably on the same page there. We're not surprised at all, right?
Well, you'd be surprised for a second to see Parker Betts coming out at quarterback for Springfield and not Devin Crenshaw. As you and I both know, Crenshaw kind of came out of that Beach game a couple of weeks ago, precautionary injury to his shoulder. But, Springfield's still getting it done without him. The thought was that he might play tonight, but he's dressed and not playing. So not sure if they're going to try to roll him out. But, whenever you're leading 20-0 in a region game in the first half, there might be some cause to kind of just sit him and wait until the postseason.
Blaine, I got to ask you, I saw your tweet and, I saw the tag. We know it's Tullahoma, but it says T-Town. So do you have any historical significance on, I know Tuscaloosa is the, probably the real T-Town, but is Tullahoma always been referred to as T-Town?
Yeah, you're really putting me on the spot here, Billy. I don't know. Maybe some fans in Tullahoma would look at the T as a title town since they won the state championship last year. That's about the best I can give you, though. I mean, I have no clue whether they've kind of referred to it that way.
I know. Hey, you answered our trivia question.
This is no FIU quarterback trivia.
You answered the trivia question, so I thought I might fire that one at you. But hey, that works, Blaine.
Blaine, have a good one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Yep, see ya.
Thanks, Blaine.
I feel like I was cut. I didn't mean to cut him off there. I didn't mean to. I felt like maybe I did, but I feel bad. Blaine coming through, put him on the spot. Like I said,
there's a lot of traditions like that, but obviously he's a younger cat, like me.
I said FIU. I meant MTSU because we were talking about.
Yeah, you said FIU. I was like,
Cade Cunningham. So we were talking about.
Yeah, and I don't even think his name is Cade.
Is it Chase Cunningham?
I think it's Chase. Chris Yao corrected us on that.
Oh, okay.
And he said his name actually isn't Cade. So yeah, we got that part on it wrong too, but that's okay.
That's okay. Beach with a 17-0 lead over Brentwood. Darius Johnson just got into the end zone for the 3rd time this evening.
What a night for him.
What a night. I mean, he's just kind of been playing on another level.
And I mean, he's kind of risen to the scene here. I mean, we haven't heard a whole lot about Beach, the team as a whole, but I mean, they've really started to come together in these last few weeks of the season.
Yep.
And I talked about neither of these teams being forces in the playoffs. All of a sudden, I mean, I do think Beach can potentially do some damage in the playoffs at this point. I mean,
yeah,
they've got a running back like that, and I mean, he had a pick 6 today too. I mean, it's
his second one in as many weeks. He had one last week against Gallatin. And
he's been everywhere.
I've been saying for a little while now, it feels like Beach is starting to round into form. Anthony Crabtree has a state title to his name. He has 2 runner-ups. I don't know how many wins he has in his 18 years at Beach High School, but over 100 easily, maybe even over 200.
He's
close.
He's one of those coaches in the state where there's just so much respect, and no matter how much talent you have year in, year out, you're going to be a force.
Yep.
This isn't college football. This isn't the NFL. The drop-offs are not as significant. Now, maybe you have a year where, it's just really tough. But, when you're able to accumulate as much talent as these coaches are, there's really, I mean, I hate saying there aren't any down years, but for a lot of programs, there really aren't. I mean,
yeah,
you have years where you may win it all, but the next year you lose in the quarterfinals. But is that a down year for you? I mean, I don't think so. So there's certain programs like a Beach or a Riverdale or even, a Blackman, a lot of the programs in Rutherford County where there's such tradition and such expectations and respectability to where, they just kind of reload each year. So it's impressive. But Beach is one of those programs.
Absolutely. And, they call it the beach standard, and the beach standard is, second, third round of the playoffs. So I know Marthany wants to call in soon. His game is honestly, it's playing out the way that I thought it would play out. I mean, why Liberty Creek scheduled a game at Oakland in their first year in existence is beyond me. But they've had
What's the score of that game?
42-0 Oakland. And I would imagine Oakland is playing every single second teamer that they can. Because
Marthany's with us.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Marthany, listen, we were just talking. Why Liberty Creek would schedule this game is beyond me. Liberty Creek, a first-year program here in Sumner County. It's 42-0 where you're at. I'm just curious from your vantage point, what have you seen tonight from both of these teams?
Guys, you can tell that this was as the college ranks like to say, this was a money matchup almost.
I was gonna make a joke, Marthany, and say, Zach, how much did they get paid? But I didn't want to go there, but you did, so I like it.
It's pretty much what it is. It's been kind of, it's been all Oakland from start to finish. Liberty Creek, they had one good drive, actually. They went about 12 plays, about 45, 46 yards, got down to about the 25 of Oakland's, but then a turnover happened. And then pretty much every time Oakland has touched the ball, it's just been down the field with a touchdown or even helping with special teams out, punt returns, getting them in good field position, short fields, big explosive plays. And it's expected what you would thought tonight. It's homecoming night as well, so it's what you expected right now. It's easily dominated right now by Oakland. Obviously, probably here in the second half, we'll probably have a running clock here. The second, third stringers will probably get most of the clock here in the second half because it got away real quick.
Yeah, Marthany, it sounds like tonight's going to be an opportunity for you to maybe put some names in a story that maybe wouldn't get some recognition. So, that second half probably going to go pretty fast for you. But, man, we won't keep you long. Doesn't sound like there's a lot going on over there, but we did want to update, so we do appreciate you calling in from that. Oakland's got a big game next week against Rockville in the region. So, obviously it feels like tonight's a good night to be prepared for that. Do you feel that way as well, Marthany?
Yeah, it's looking that way for sure, just because of how everything is set up in that region. Next week is a huge week. I know Oakland has kind of already taken that first spot, so they'll be the region champ.
Sure.
For everybody else, it's a big game. It's a big week next week, so definitely looking forward to seeing how they would play against Rockville.
Marthany, man, we appreciate your contributions all season long as our Rutherford County guy. Can't wait to see where you're at next week, man, and we'll catch up soon.
Yes, sir.
See ya. That was Marthany Sanders checking in from Oakland and Liberty Creek, and he kind of hit on it. And it's been Oakland early and often, and why wouldn't it be? These are one of the best teams in the state, and Liberty Creek, first-year program, just kind of taking their lumps tonight, and it just is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, and it is what it is where Russell Venozzi is tonight. He is over at CPA, where Lipscomb Academy trails CPA shockingly 21-13. Russell, it's the London Humphreys show tonight, huh?
Oh, yeah. We got chaos here, guys. Wow. What a half. London Humphreys, like you said, 2 huge kickoff returns for touchdowns that completely changed the tone of this game from the very start. He, returned the opening kickoff and got another one right after Lipscomb scored its first touchdown. So, yeah, great half for CPA coming off a week break. And then, of course, the week before that, they just destroyed Oakland here on their home field. So you got to love the stretch there the last couple of weeks if you're a CPA fan.
Yeah, Russell, you're pretty familiar with this CPA program. What they've done to beat Oakland after a slow start to the season, and now they're up at the half to Lipscomb Academy. Who knows what happens in the rest of this game? But what does that say about the culture of this program and what Ingle Martin had built? I think some people had written them off this year. They said, "Oh, CPA."
I know I did.
Yeah, I did too. I think a lot of people did. So, what speak about the culture that Ingle Martin has built over there?
Yeah, I think if you've spent any time around CPA and Ingle Martin and what they do here, I think you knew better than to assume that the season was over. After they lost those close games to Cane Ridge and FRA back to back. And apologies here, I'm rushing out to my car to get a charge for my phone. Only
Hey, you might need
highlights
that
of just
phone.
drain it. I'm hemorrhaging battery out here, but yeah, I think if you guys, just being around CPA for a little bit, that's not a place that is going to put up with, losing like that.
No.
So they've got too much talent and too many high-level coaches to let that happen for too long. So, that Oakland win was obviously a huge statement. And, nothing fluky about that win. It was 35-14. It wasn't just like a last-second play or a referee call or anything like that. They manhandled Oakland, which is not an easy thing to do. Obviously, nobody has done that here locally for like 3 years or more.
Yeah.
So, I think – and then for this game against Lipscomb Academy, I mean, how much more motivation do you need? They last year CPA, I think, lost a combined 60-something to 0 in their 2 games against them, including the Blue Cross Bowl state championship game last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you've got Caleb Beasley, top-ranked cornerback, says he's going to announce his commitment after tonight's game, basically insinuating that he's expecting to win. Is what I read into that. And, if you weren't already motivated on the CPA side, I mean, that's just an extra little nugget to get you going. And clearly, I think the juice is helping them tonight.
Russell, get you a Cliff Bar, man. Get you a drink of water. Get a charge on your phone, and enjoy the second half, man. We really appreciate you checking in with us, okay?
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm getting my steps in out here, so I'll keep you updated.
Hey, give us a call back.
Thanks, Russell.
All right.
See you.
All right, bye.
I didn't want his phone to die on him. I didn't want his phone to die on him.
Me neither.
But
I mean, good report from Russell.
Yeah, considering he was, running through half of it.
Yeah, but good report because he told us that basically the CPA team is aware that Caleb Beasley is planning on announcing his commitment to his college after the game on the field.
That is,
I mean, is there any other motivation? You don't even need last year's 66-0 motivation.
Yeah.
If you're Ingle Martin, I tell my team that.
Oh, without a doubt. You're telling
and not that they need to be that, not that they need Ingle to tell them that. They probably already found out.
Sure.
In today's day and age, I mean, everybody's got a Twitter. Most of the kids are probably familiar with Caleb Beasley. So not the smartest idea from Mr. Beasley, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, definition of betting on yourself, isn't it? I mean,
I like the confidence
definition of it,
but that's why I asked Russell about the culture. I mean, Russell, he took the words out of my mouth. This CPA program is not just going to let that happen. They're not going to let that fly. This isn't some kind of poverty high school program,
I wanted to ask Russell, but again, didn't want his phone to die on him. I'm curious, and he might not know, but he could ask when the script was flipped for CPA. Was it the loss to Cane Ridge? Was it the loss to FRA? Was it the win over Oakland? I'm curious when they think they started to figure it out.
Yeah.
And how much you'll never get anyone to admit this. And I might throw my shoulder out of socket from reaching so hard, but was it tough not having their coach at the start of the year? I mean, I know he was in Williamsport supporting his family, his son, which he should have been.
You need to go to Middle Tennessee Bone and Joint.
Yeah, I'm hurting. I threw it out of
No,
shot.
but honestly, maybe. I mean,
and I'm not trying to create controversy here. I'm just maybe honestly trying to give them excuses as to behind the 2-2 start.
Yeah, I mean,
behind the slow start.
Ingle Martin might be the most important head coach to his team. And I'm in all seriousness, and at the high school, at the NFL level, you don't have your head coach. Okay, you've got, say you've got Tom Brady on your team. You're fine.
Yeah.
The college level, more of the same type of thing. But at the high school level, the reliance on your head coach is much more. So when you don't have your head coach, especially on a team like CPA, where, that culture is because of one guy, it's Ingle Martin. And when he's not in there and not in the locker room, it's a family matter. I'm not blaming Ingle. But when you don't have him, maybe that is part of the issue. But I do think, Zach, they got healthy.
Yeah.
They were banged up early on in the season. And I think after the Cane Ridge game, they got a few guys back. I think they had a bye before Oakland, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. They had a bye sometime before Oakland. So they did have a bye to get rest. I don't know if it was the week right before Oakland, but I know they had a bye either that week, 2 weeks before. So they did have time to get somewhat healthy. And,
They had the bye after Oakland.
Oh, so my mistake. Okay, so
they had it last week. They just came off the bye.
Okay, so that that kind of supports the Lipscomb thing. I mean, they're coming off their bye week, but even with Oakland, I mean, they got healthy. They got healthy. They got confident, and it's that type of program. It's like one of those Rutherford County programs where there's never that much of a drop off each year.
And one thing also I wonder about that Oakland game, it's because coaches are such creature of habits. That Oakland game was on a Thursday. Oakland was on fall break. It's not a typical game day, not only because you're on fall break, but it's on a Thursday. And coaches will tell you sometimes it's tough getting your kids to not, if it goes against them, things aren't running on schedule, it's hard to reel them back in. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. But nevertheless, CPA on a tear. I'm curious when it flipped for them, but I have to get this tip in because shout out to Vandy Chris and Southern Boys Sports Vanderbilt. They've been keeping us in the loop. So it looks like the West Rebels have defeated Maryville High School and handed Maryville their third loss on the season. And dating back to at least 2001, that has never happened for Maryville. So in 21 years, they have not had a 3-loss season. West High School hands them a L tonight for their third loss of the year for the first time since the turn of the century.
Wow. Yeah. That's a great note there. Meanwhile, over on West End, at least in the West End area, Baylor has just scored a touchdown to take a 21-7 lead over NBA. And that is in the second quarter. Still a lot of football left. But
should we go there?
We can certainly go there, but they're kicking the field goal, the extra point here. So, we'll time that up. But Baylor looks for real.
They do. And I've been saying for a little while now, I think this is a potential state title match. These two teams, these two programs have kind of been on a collision course all season long. I feel like ever since and I don't have the date on hand, but when Baylor beat McCallie and NBA beat McCallie, I think it was like the third week in the season or around that time for both programs. I said to myself, these may just be the two that end up meeting each other at Finley Stadium in Chattanooga here in a few weeks. But wow, 21-7, that's a little surprising, I'll be honest.
Yeah, there's some talent. There's some real dudes on this Baylor team. You got a lineman in Bryson Sanders who's going to go play with Marcel Reed at Ole Miss. You've got a receiver, number 7. I'm forgetting his name right now, but he just took – it was about a 50-yard screen pass for a touchdown and outran the entire NBA defense. So there's some talent on that Baylor team, and if you do want to go there, we can go there now.
Let's do it. Let's hear from it. Having some audio issues on the stream there through NBA, so we're going to try to figure that out for you. It's just after 8:20 here on Friday night live in Nashville, Tennessee, October 21st. It's week 10 of the high school football season. It has flown by just like that. I mean, in a blink of an eye and a snap of a finger, we're 2 weeks away from the regular season being over. And, we've had a lot of fun this year. I'll be honest with you. I've looked forward to Friday nights coming in each and every Friday, chopping shop with you guys about Tennessee high school football here in the mid-state. And, as Billy tries to work on just the fact that Baylor leads 21-7, Tyler Palmatier saying that NBA has no answer, zero answer for Amari Jefferson, the Baylor wide receiver
Jefferson
that you were talking about, who got loose for a long touchdown for the 21-7 lead with 6:24 left to go in the second quarter. But,
I think I've got it. And this is their radio station, 94.5 Hippie Radio. So we're going to see if this will do the job.
as I said, you're listening to the Montgomery Bell Academy Football Network. Them and Baylor obviously in a really close football game right now. Just before the half, we've been talking at length about these two football programs. So I want to transition. I want to pivot to the left side of this screen here. Beach all over Brentwood right now, 24-0 on the Friday Night Rivals game of the week. The Bruins with the football right now, trying to find something on offense. They have got nothing so far. Beach with a pick six. They've got two long runs, including a 74-yard touchdown run from J.P. Courtney that put them up 24-0. And so Beach starting to round into form. This would be a huge 6A victory for them before the regular season finale next week. So a little surprised with that one, but not surprised with all the other games that we got going on. So you want to try to get that half back before, or that game back before they go to half, Billy?
Yeah, we can also I actually X'd out of it. But
no problem.
We could go to Lipscomb Academy CPA if you'd like.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's see what they're talking about over at CPA. And we're back thanks to the CPA broadcast. That was the mayor, Brent Doherty, bringing us play-by-play.
Brent Doherty, he does a really good job.
He does a great job. I guess I had forgotten that he did CPA. I think his boy may play for the Lions team.
He loves CPA. Both of his, I think he had 2 kids that went through CPA. His kid last year that graduated from CPA was a long snapper. He actually committed to MTSU. So he is over at MTSU now. So Brent Doherty, longtime CPA dad and parent there. So I love when you get to see some school pride on the broadcast.
For sure. Well, hey, Billy, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. It's 5 minutes until 9 o'clock here on this Friday, October 21st edition of Friday Night Live. But when we come back, we're going to hit you with a scoreboard update, and we're going to jump back into a couple other games. So don't go anywhere. This is Friday Night Live.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was going to get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me 10 grand. So, no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
Didn't think this would affect so many people.
You think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought I was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
At Miss Lucille's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lucille's. You'll be glad you did.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
And we are back 9 o'clock here in the Mid-State Friday, October 21st on this Friday Night Live edition, week 10 of the high school football season. It's crazy to think about that we're already here to week 10. We've been bringing you interviews. We've been bringing you scoreboard updates all night long. We're going to get into a scoreboard update now before we jump back into this Lipscomb Academy CPA game, which is really good. Lipscomb Academy leads CPA 29-21 at the end of three quarters. Beach up on Brentwood 27-6. But Billy, let's start with Division I and work our way down. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Chucky Doak, big winners over North Green 76-7. It's Granger 42, Claiborne 7, Cloudland 46, Johnson City 22. It's Daniel Boone 28, David Crockett 7. Dobbins Bennett a 21-12 winner over Oak Ridge. It's Greenville 42, Morristown East 7. Pigeon Forge 48, Happy Valley 19. Jefferson County 28, Morristown West 24. It's South Green winners over Seymour 19-7. West Ridge beats Tennessee High School 29-12. It's Cherokee 19, Volunteer High School 18, and Hardin Valley 42, William Blunt 25.
Let's go to Division I, Region 2. Alcoa defeats Tyner Academy 42-20. Anderson County, good one here, leads Bearden 35-28. Bunch of finals to roll through here. Cleveland over Giles County 24-10. Coalfield all over Oliver Springs 50-0. Farragut over Fulton big time. Knoxville showdown 63-24. Knoxville Central 21. Knoxville Halls 16. Greenback 53. Midway 0. Late in the fourth quarter in this one, good one between Bledsoe County and Monterey. Bledsoe County leads that one 28-21. At the half, it's Oakdale 14, Harriman 7. Oneida 27, Sequoia 19. That's a final. Gatlinburg Pittman 51, Scott 20. Scott's 0-9 this year. Campbell County 48, Sevier County 45. Good one there. Wartburg defeats Sunbright 50-6. Breaking news, Caleb Beasley just got an interception, but he fumbles it, and CPA gets it back.
Do they? No, I think
craziness.
Lipscomb Academy may still have the football.
They may still have. Okay.
Okay, because I saw the
Wow.
ref pointing that way. Yeah.
Wild stuff.
Wild
tonight.
break for Lipscomb Academy.
West over Maryville 31-18.
Which we said earlier, the first 3-loss season for Maryville since the turn of the century.
Wow.
So shout out to Vandy Chris.
Shout out to Vandy Chris for the Nuggets.
For sure. Let's move on down to Division I, Region 3. Clinton leads Gibbs in the third quarter 28-26. It's East Hamilton, a winner over Red Bank 14-0. It is Lenore City 38, Heritage 21 final. McMinn County 14, Loudon 0. In the third quarter, you've got Marion County leading Signal Mountain 20-7. In the fourth quarter, it's Rockwood 42, McMinn Central 32. And a few finals. You've got Polk County 35, Lookout Valley nothing. Sail Creek 53, Cosby 14, and Sweetwater 49, Tellico Plains 7.
Sweetwater. Division I, Region 4. Blackman leads Cookeville High School 47-14. Clay County leads York Institute late in that one 38-8. Hart County in Kentucky defeats Community 50-0. Red Boiling Springs, tough one tonight. Gordonsville got them 42-7. Let's see here. Oakland all over poor Liberty Creek 62-0. Ottawa leads Brainerd right now. Good one, 21-16. Final between Bradley Central and Ray County, 30-10. Coffee County all over Rockvale, 28-7 late in that one. Sequatchie County, 31. Whitwell, 6. Stone Memorial defeats Kingston, 21-7. Upperman defeats Walker Valley, 24-17.
Wanted to give you a Stewart's Creek Wilson Central final. Looks like it's 56-14 in favor of Stewart's Creek. Oakland has scored again. They were up 69-0 over Liberty Creek. Moving over to Division I, Region 5, Beach leads Brentwood currently 27-6 in the third quarter. It's Riverdale 10, East Nashville 6 at the break. Fayetteville leads big over Huntland in the fourth quarter, 46-3. It's Lebanon over Gallatin in the fourth quarter, 14-3. Greenbrier with a fourth quarter lead over Tullahoma, 20-3. It's Lawrence County 31, Hillwood 14 in the third quarter. Cumberland County 14, Jackson County at the start of the fourth. It's Marshall County all over Montgomery Central at the half, 49-0. It's final in Moore County as they defeat Cornersville 53-0. Smith County with a 28-20 lead over Macon County in the third quarter. And it's White County 40, Hunters Lane 13 at halftime. And Station Camp trails Green Hill 28-14 in the third quarter.
Let's stay in Division I. Let's go over to Region 6. Decatur County Riverside defeats Humboldt 41-18. Obion County, that's actually at the half, rather. So big output there for Decatur County Riverside. Speaking of, Lipscomb Academy just scores another touchdown to make that a 2-score ball game over CPA. So we'll keep you updated on that one. Obion County leads Dresden 42-14. Jackson Southside, big rivalry in Jackson. Jackson Southside leads Jackson Northside 14-6 in the fourth quarter. Crockett County, tough one tonight. Lexington leads them 42-14 late in that one. Final between Union City and Liberty. Union City wins that one 48-8. Siegel defeats Lincoln County 33-6. That's actually in the fourth quarter. McKenzie defeats Hollow Rock Brewston 49-0. Gleason over Perry County 40-0. McEwen at the half leads South Fulton 20-0. Fairview over Sycamore right now in the third quarter 31-3. Waverly leads Cheatham County 35-7. And White House leads Westmoreland, good one, 16-7 late in that one.
That last Lipscomb Academy touchdown is being talked about right now. I don't think it's
has it been called back?
I don't think it is, but nevertheless, poor tackling.
Zebras are talking.
Poor tackling on CPA's part. It was a simple hitch route from Hank Brown to his receiver, and he made one spin move to the sideline, and he was gone.
Spillman.
There are flags on the field, so I wonder what the white hat is going to call here. Obviously, a big call, nevertheless. But CPA, man, the wheels have kind of fallen off for them here in the second half. And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for 2 London Humphreys returns, this would be a blowout in favor of Lipscomb Academy. The touchdown's going to count after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Mustangs, 15-yard penalty after the play. So will they do that on the kickoff or the extra point?
I don't know.
Either way, touchdown counts. So Lipscomb Academy now up 35-21 over CPA pending the extra point. But we're going to move on to Division I, Region 7 here. Haywood with a 34-10 lead over Covington with 5:50 left to go in the fourth quarter. We've got a final at Gibson County as they defeat Greenfield 42-7. It's Huntington 35, Peabody 14 in the third quarter. Westview leads Ripley 21-0 at the half. Final, Springfield 40, Portland nothing. Summit 48, Shelbyville nothing. And that will do it for the Region 7. Not a lot of scores in Region 7, Billy.
No, not a lot. Let's go to Region 8. God, how many regions are there? Region 8, Dyer County leads Brighton late in the fourth quarter, 39-7. Final between Mitchell and MLK Prep in Memphis, 32-0. Mitchell wins that one. Mumford a final over Kingsbury, 53-0. Oak Haven shuts out Bolton, 42-0. And Germantown shuts out White Station. A lot of blowouts in Region 8. They shut out White Station 49-0.
In the Division II East and Middle region, you've got a really good one going on in the East Tennessee right now. Powell leading Knox Catholic 28-26 with 6:50 left to go in that football game. It's still halftime of NBA Baylor. Is that right? 21-21? as those two teams battle for the Division II East Middle Region Championship. Collie leads West Toronto Prep 42-0.
Yeah, they're kicking off NBA and Baylor right now.
All right, let's wrap up this scoreboard update. We'll get there. Pope John Paul with a 31-22 lead over Ravenwood in the fourth quarter. Billy, wrap it up for us.
All right, let's go to D2 East Region. Silverdale Academy defeats Grace Christian in Knoxville 20-3. Knoxville Webb defeats Boyd Buchanan 42-7. Friendship Christian defeats Lakeway Christian 38-7. At the half, Middle Tennessee Christian leads Wayne County 24-0.
There are no scores in the middle region for Division II. There are no scores except for Tipton Rosemark 14, FACS 12 at the break. Those are the only scores we have. But that right there, from Region 1 all the way through the private schools, that is your scoreboard update presented by Donnelly Timmons Custom Home Builders for anything and everything you need for your home. Make sure you contact Donnelly Timmons. He is the man for you to get the job done.
No doubt. And NBA and Baylor has kicked off, and we can go there if we'd like.
Let's do that because I think Lipscomb Academy CPA is kind of it's fallen by the wayside, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yep.
Thank you to the Montgomery Bell Academy Football Network for providing us some insight to NBA and Baylor. A really good football game, 21-21 at this point after the third quarter. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we do, we're going to get you right back into that football game so you don't have to miss much of it. So don't go anywhere. This is Friday Night Live, powered by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
So, I got a DUI. Mom, Dad.
Why didn't you just call someone for a ride?
I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't think I was gonna get caught. Yeah, my best friend Tim.
Still coming to my bachelor party next month?
This DUI cost me 10 grand. So, no. Yeah, you, in the back.
Did you know I almost died when you hit me?
I didn't think this would affect so many people.
You think it was worth it?
No more questions.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour. It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Run your name, sir. Where you are right now?
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
At Miss Lucille's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lucille's. You'll be glad you did.
We are back, Friday Night Live, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, where fans don't let fans drive drunk. Also, shout out to Donnelly Timmons, Custom Home Builders for powering our scoreboard updates all night long as well as all season long. It's week 10 of the high school football season. We've got 15, 20 minutes left of this show. Then we've got 1 week next week in the regular season is done. I don't know how much of the playoffs we're going to do this year, but nevertheless, our time together is winding down on Friday nights, and I know that I will miss that. It just seems like the high school football season flies by each and every year, and that's the case again this year. Looking at a couple scores, Lipscomb Academy has absolutely taken complete control of this CPA game. They lead 43-21 with 3:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. Beach comfortably leads Brentwood, I believe, 27-6 in the fourth quarter. But the good one, the best one of the night, NBA and Baylor, they're in the fourth quarter. They're still tied at 21. We told you before the break we were going to get you back over there. And let's do that for at least the next 10 minutes. Try to get much of this fourth quarter played out for our listeners, Billy. Appreciate the NBA network getting us that score. As you just heard, NBA taking a 28-21 lead with 8:12 left to go in the fourth quarter. NBA taking a little bit of a break on the sideline, trotting back out for the kickoff, going to give it right back to Baylor to see what the Red Raiders can do. This game has lived up to everything and more, I think, Billy. And, there's still 8:12 left to go, but and I'm maybe a prisoner of the moment here, but this has got to be one of the best high school football games of the season that we are watching right now, listening to as NBA and Baylor battle for the Division II 3A Middle East region title. Golly, that's a mouthful. But two of the best here in the state, and two teams that I think you could see playing against one another in Chattanooga come state championship time.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, these two teams are the class of Division III, and I would not be surprised if they see each other again sometime in the playoffs, or probably in the state title. But man, it's been fun to watch those two teams go at it tonight.
Absolutely. Baylor with a good return, going to start out with the ball, I think at their own 31, maybe 32, with 8:04 left to go. Billy, let's jump in here and hear the rest of this call. Once again, thank you to the NBA Football Network for providing us with a little insight into their football game. NBA with a commanding 14-point lead now in the fourth quarter as Beach is looking to also seal up a victory over Brentwood. They lead 27-6 with 8 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. I was telling Billy while we were listening to the game, I wanted to get a scoreboard update in just because we hadn't done one in the 9 o'clock hour. So a lot of these scores you've heard, but for those tuning in for the first time, let's just go ahead and run down this statewide scoreboard here on Friday Night Live. Looking at Region 1, Chucky Doak, big winner over North Green, 76-7. Granger, 42, Claiborne, 7. It's Cloudland, 46, Johnson County, 22. Daniel Boone beats David Crockett, 35-7. It's Dobbins Bennett, 21, Oak Ridge, 12. Greenville beats Morristown East, 42-7. It's Pigeon Forge, a 48-19 winner over Happy Valley. Jefferson County beats Morristown West, 28-24. It's South Green, 19, Seymour, 7. West Ridge, 29, Tennessee, 12. Cherokee, 19, Volunteer High School, 18. And Hardin County, 42, William Blunt, 25.
Alcoa over Tyner Academy 42-20. Anderson County 35. Bearden 28. Cleveland 24. Giles County 10. Coalfield 50. Oliver Springs 0. Farragut 63. Fulton 24. Knox Central over Knoxville Halls 21-16. Greenback over Midway 53-0. Monterey 36. Bledsoe County 28. Oakdale 22. Harriman 20. Oneida 27. Sequoia 19. Gatlinburg Pittman 51. Scott County 20. Campbell County 48, Sevier County 45, Wartburg 50, Sunbright 6, and West 31, Maryville 18.
Shout out to West High School, 9-0 on the season. The first time they've ever been 9-0 in a football season, Billy. So shout out to the West Rebels out of East Tennessee. Looking at Region 3, it's Clinton over Gibbs in the third quarter, 34-32. Copper Basin beats North Georgia 33-6. It's East Hamilton 14, Red Bank nothing. Final, Chattanooga Central 19, East Ridge 14. Hickson defeats Soddy Daisy 21-14. It's Lenoir City 38, Heritage 21. McMinn County beats Loudon 14-0. Marion County all over Signal Mountain 33-7. It's Rockwood 49, McMinn Central 49, McMinn Central 39. Polk County defeats Lookout Valley 35-0. It's Sell Creek 53, Cosby 14, and Sweetwater 49 at Tellico Plains 7.
Blackman over Cookville 47-21 as we begin Region 4. Clay County 44, York Institute 14. Hart County and Kentucky over Community 50-0. Gordonsville over Red Boiling Springs 42-7. Joe Burns over Ezel Harding on senior night 38-14. Oakland all over Liberty Creek 69-0. Brainerd 22, Ottawa 21. Bradley Central 30, Ray County 10, Coffee County 35, Rockville 14, Sequatchie County 31, Whitwell 13. Stewart's Creek over Wilson Central 56-14. Stone Memorial 21, Kingston 7, Upperman 24, Walker Valley 17. Watertown 38, Livingston 14, and West Creek 34, Whites Creek 0.
Moving over to Region 5, Beach gets the victory over Brentwood 27-6. It's Creekwood 49, Glencliff 6. Glencliff 0-9 on the season. Eagleville 35, Collinwood 6. Riverdale, big winners over East Nashville 30-12. It's Fayetteville 46, Huntland 3. Lebanon gets the win on the road at Gallatin 14-9. Greenbrier knocks off T-Town, Titletown, Tullahoma 20-3. It's Hendersonville leading Rossview 21-14 at the half. I don't think that's accurate. We do have the score in there somewhere, but I don't think that's accurate. We'll come back to that one. Mount Juliet defeats Hillsboro 53-24. It's Lawrence County 49, Hillwood 14. Cumberland County winner over Jackson County 21-7. Clarksville goes on the road, defeats Maplewood 40-6. Marshall County at home all over Montgomery Central 56-8. It's Moore County 53, Cornersville nothing. Smith County defeats Macon County 28-20. It's Green Hill winners over Station Camp 28-14. Green Hill and Mount Juliet will battle next week for the region title. And White County takes down Hunters Lane 40-13.
Getting into Region 6 in Division 1, John Overton 46, Antioch 0, Cane Ridge 34, Dixon County 0, Decatur County Riverside 41, Humboldt 18, Obion County 42, Dresden 21, Harpeth over Hickman County 48-13, Jackson Southside defeats Jackson Northside 14-12, Lewis County 20, Summertown 0, Lexington 45, Crockett County 21, Union City 48, Liberty 8, Siegel 33, Lincoln County 6, McKenzie 49, Hollow Rock Houston 0, Millington 40, McNary Central 7, Independence 13, Page 0, Gleason 40, Perry County 0, Scotts Hill over West Carroll 21-14, McEwen over South Fulton 20-0, Mount Pleasant 24, Spring Hill 0, Fairview 39, Sycamore 3, Waverly over Cheatham County 42-14, and White House over Westmoreland 16-14.
Moving over to Region 7, it's Centennial with a big win over Laverne 34-19. Haywood downs Covington 34-17. Nolensville stays undefeated on the season, defeats Franklin 30-12. It's Gibson County getting the win over Greenfield 42-7. Kenwood defeats Clarksville Northwest 25-19. It's Lake County 52, Fulton County, Kentucky 6. Take that, Kentucky. It's Milan 22, Harding County 19. Huntington 41, Peabody 28. Westview defeats Ripley 21-7. Springfield all over Portland in their region game 40-0. And Summit gets the big win on homecoming over Shelbyville 48-0.
We get into Region 8, Houston over Arlington 39-0. We got Bartlett 17, Collierville 7, Dyer County 39, Brighton 14, Whitehaven 44, Cordova 0, Mitchell over MLK Prep 32-0, Munford 53, Kingsbury 0, Oak Haven 42, Bolton 0, Ridgeway 39, Fayette Ware 21, and Germantown 49, White Station 0.
Moving over to Division II East and Middle Region, Powell gets the win over Knox Catholic 28-26. Baylor has trimmed their deficit 35-28. Montgomery Bell Academy leads with 4:52 left to go in the fourth quarter. Macaulay, big winners over West Toronto Prep out of Canada, 55-0. And Pope John Paul takes down Ravenwood 38-36.
Notre Dame over CAK 35-0, 35-30 rather. Chattanooga Christian 69, Republic 0, Silverdale Academy 20, Grace Christian and Knoxville 3, Knoxville Webb 42, Boyd Buchanan 7, Friendship Christian 38, Lakeway Christian 7, Middle Tennessee Christian School 30, Wayne County 12, and the Kings Academy 54, Webb School 38.
Two more regions to go. Looking at the middle region in Division II, it's Columbia Academy over Clarksville Academy 14-7 at the half. I think that needs to be updated. Lipscomb Academy storms back to beat CPA 43-21. Davidson Academy all over Stratford 47-3. It's DCA 38, Grace Christian Franklin 7. Franklin Road Academy all over the Fighting George Plasters 42-7. It's Good Pasture 24, DeKalb County 17. Nashville Christian takes it out on Mount Juliet Christian 43-12.
D2 West Region, final region to get to. Fayette Academy 51, Harding Academy 14, North Point Christian 49, Sheffield 0, USJ 50, St. George's 14, Tipton Rosemark 21, FACS 12, and Jackson Christian 49, Trinity Christian 42. And Zach, with that scoreboard update, powered by Donley Timmons Custom Builders, we've got our final call of the night as we head over to Brady McAtamney right now. Brady, how did yours end up tonight?
You know, it's always the games that you don't necessarily expect to be the most fun that end up being a pretty good time. So Kenwood and Northwest, two teams, you know, having a little bit of a struggling season, but it ended up coming down to the final play. But Kenwood pulled it out 25-19, I want to say the final was. That was it. That's a weird one to remember. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun game, and that actually sets up what's essentially a playoff game next week between Kenwood and Northeast.
So that's where you'll be next week, is Kenwood Northeast?
Potentially. There's also Clarksville High versus Gallatin, which is, you know, a game for the number 2 seed. So I'm going to have a decision to make.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could go wrong with either one. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about Clarksville all preseason. They had a chance to really be good. Might be a great opportunity for just to maybe highlight, not telling you what to do, but I think you couldn't go wrong either way, Brady. But, man, we got about 4 minutes left, so I'm going to let you go. We appreciate the final scoreboard update from you, man. Have a good night. Safe travels home.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You bet. Brady McAtamney giving us that final. We really appreciate that as we are closing down shop here on Friday Night Live on this October 21st edition. It's been a lot of fun, Billy. We're 10 weeks through the high school football season. Hard to believe. Next week is the final regular season week of the season, and I think it's highlighted by Mount Juliet Green Hill. I know Friday Night Rivals will be there. It's for a region title, so that should be a good one to kind of end the regular season next week.
No doubt about it. And breaking news, Caleb Beasley has committed to Tennessee. Shocker to no one. So
yeah, listen, hey, go Vols. Right,
nice little nightcap. And I mean, I'm telling you, that Alabama game did wonders for Tennessee in that program. So Caleb Beasley commits to Tennessee over some pretty big time schools. You had, who else did you have in there? Notre Dame, Clemson, Oklahoma, everybody.
Yeah. Throw out a name, and they had Alabama, Ohio State. Tennessee, like you said, all the big programs wanted him, and rightfully so. But I'm trying to see just who offered him according to 247 before we let you go, because now my pet peeve, my what do you call OCD's kicking in, and I can't pull it up. So just know he had offers from everybody and anybody: Tennessee, Virginia Tech, LSU. I know he was high on LSU. Surprised to see him go to Tennessee, but as a Vols fan, excited to see number one on the hill next season.
Yeah, how about that? Good get for the Vols, and good win tonight for Lipscomb Academy as they hold off CPA. So congrats to the Mustangs.
Absolutely. And as far as this week's episode, that's it for us. That's all for us. We're 4 hours in. We will see you next week. For Billy, Derrick, I'm Zach Womble. This is Friday Night Live, powered by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
You have been listening to Friday Night Live, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Friday Night Live is a Main Street Media production and owned by Dave and Ellen Gould. Produced by Billy Derrick.